I didn't want to say a word.
That ain't girl. Bye. Who is it? Somebody you think that's on my
word. That's his dad's
his girlfriend.
No,
wife.
Ex-wife.
So we're just going up live right now.
All righty.
So we're about to start.
His brother and sister's mom. That is not his mom. And then the cousin she's thinking is the cousin. That's
And that's not okay.
Just to what the story she was telling me, I felt bad, like keeping lying.
Hey, oh, we looked all cute. Oh, thank you. God, that girl. We up?
Nope. About to be.
So the stream is live, so if you guys want to share it to your Meet the Shoe page and stuff like that, and your personal pages, you definitely should. So we're technically up live, but I have a thing over the screen, and then so we do the whole thing to like share it, in this time. So we don't care if they hear us talking shit back here. So I should say, like we said, I talked to Shade a little about this, and I probably need help on the pronunciation of your name. Daneana. Daneana's right?
You did a good job.
God, I got a lot of flavor.
Okay. Yes,
Okay,
you
so
do.
show me how to share. Yeah.
Oh, so you go to the Profession Confession page.
Oh. Okay.
And then we just click that to share.
On Instagram?
No, it's on.
No, on Facebook and YouTube. But yeah, so you just want to share the Facebook link. So write in Profession Confession. Oh, Profession, yep.
And tag myself?
Yeah, for sure. And I'll tell just people who the stream is live, if anyone's joined us yet or anything like that, just let you know we'll be live soon. And I don't have a producer this week, so ask questions. I won't be able to pop them up on screen, but whatever. Ask and I will get to them. Yeah, and then make sure you turn off your speaker when it's, I do that on purpose with the music and shit, so you hear it when it comes through.
So you go to
live?
Profession Confession.
Confession, okay.
And then we see, tag ourselves.
Do that. What you just did.
Where you at? Just get on there, and then tag whoever. Meet the shoe. Or whatever. Tag your friends, I guess.
just say their names in here, right? Or do I don't know.
What's that? For what?
I say their names in there, right? Because it's not giving me a thing.
Thing to tag.
Yeah, I tag myself. I tag Nina. I mean, Misha.
They should share to,
Oh,
or share
I'm
to a group.
share. Okay.
There we go. I'm trying to find
Oh, I'm gonna share to everybody.
55379.
Why is not? Oh, it's not letting me.
All right, so we're gonna get started pretty quickly here. No, it's fine. I'm just saying shit for the audience. Not sorry. I didn't mean to startle you guys. Yeah. Okay, who's calling me?
Okay. So when you go to the groups, share to your groups that you are in.
So we're gonna be talking with two. I'm just calling them Queen Pins because you did 10 years. I guess state. I mean, we'll talk about it on the show. But are you each 10 years?
Yeah.
Well, I had a 13-year sentence, but I did 6, 5.5 went to CIP and then got out in that 6 months, so 6 years.
What is CIP?
It's challenge incarceration program.
Oh,
It's
okay.
a boot camp to lessen your sentence, so it lessen your sentence by 4 years,
Okay.
and it's military style.
Right.
So you get up 5:30 in the morning, get up for PT and run or exercise for about an hour, go back to your barracks, take a shower in about 15 minutes and get dressed,
Yeah.
and then head out for breakfast. So it's all marching everywhere you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah. It was a lot of work, and it was
Glad
hard.
to do it to get your time lessened. Was that worth
Yes,
it though?
do it.
Yeah.
It's worth it. It's
Yeah.
worth it. It's more of a mind.
I mean,
break you
otherwise
down.
you're just sitting there fucking waiting,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So,
Exactly.
do you think I know that light's there at this point? Instead, I just hit my head on it every fucking week.
Oh goodness.
I learned through repetition.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so I will put this down now.
Hey guys. Golden Nina. That's me a mess. Hey Tamika. Hey. Hey Misha. Don't be laughing at us telling our stories. Racial bias and CIP.
All right, I guess hit record, so it's official.
All right.
What happened in CIP, girl?
Yeah, if any of your friends, if they want to comment and like ask questions, just go to the Profession Confession page.
Go to
and
the
then do it
profession
there.
confession page, and then you can ask questions there.
Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining us. If anyone has yet, which we're not sweating it at all, we're doing this. We kind of threw this one together because I met these ladies and I was really excited to do this episode. Right, this was like an instant. So doing this show, I'm
Right.
constantly like, you meet people, and I kind of it became natural to start probing around, like kind of like, oh, like what do you do? What do you,
Right.
and to figure out if you want to do the shows, or not. And you guys are in a category that is that is one for me that is a constant. I will always say, like, oh yeah, we should absolutely podcast, because you live through what I consider just fucking hell on earth.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's close. We've done a lot of prison podcasts, and I want to talk about, because you're both, as I say, like affectionately, Queen Pins. So I want to talk about that aspect too, doing like female drug dealer.
Right.
Oh.
I've had many drug dealers in my life.
Right.
I've never been fortunate enough to buy from a woman.
Oh, wow.
Oh, I got these pretty blue eyes. Might get some discounts. But
But
I doubt it. Yeah. I know.
Not
I never got a
today.
discount in my life. Yeah.
They might charge you more.
I know.
Right.
I know. But I'd try, God damn it. So what, oh, and by the way, Daneana, we should get your mic in front of you a little bit more and maybe even kind of tilt towards me a little bit since you're going to be hopefully talking to me. And yeah, so for anyone watching, welcome to Profession Confession. I'm your host, Gabe Noah. With me is the beautiful Shade and Daneana.
Hey.
They have their own podcast. I met them 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Because they came into our studio with their podcast idea that I hadn't heard of called Meet the Shoe.
Yes.
And it's a really good cause. Do you want to talk about that quickly, and then we'll kind of jump in?
I mean,
just like about the
Well, how we started, me and Daneana, we had a passion for doing activism work, as far as people coming out of prison or in prison, helping out in some kind of way. So we were thinking, how can we do this? So we said, okay, we'll start a podcast first, and we're gonna inform people of different programs that's out there, different things like far as getting a passport. A lot of people didn't know a felon could get a passport. So we're just informing people, educating people what they can do past being a felon.
Yeah.
Because we have this stigmatism that, and we think, hearing back from other people, that we can't do certain things.
Yes.
So just talking about that, and we talk about a little bit of entertainment. You might find a lot of entertainers have been in jail or in prison, did time, and just talk about enlightenment, talk about stuff like that, and you can overcome anything.
Trying
obstacle.
to destigmatize as well as like give resources, but also just to destigmatize.
And then we have a soft heart for our children, because when we were doing time, our kids were doing time too.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't think of your kids are in prison with you at the same time.
Yeah.
We got to find something to keep our kids aware, and far as just keeping them out of the same realm of life that we were in.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Yeah. It's a whole. It's life, right? And people who go to prison are absolutely crumpled up and like forgotten, right? And it's like, and that's I was fascinated to do this because I never fucking thought of going to prison a lot in my life.
Oh yeah.
Never, I didn't have children at that point when I was wild. Like it's fucking terrifying. Like that is fucking terrifying to think of putting your kids in someone else's care. I don't give a shit if it's your parents, whatever it is. And then you're isolated from that. It's truly like, I mean, that is horrific. And then all the stigma that goes with it and everything. So I want to introduce each of you. So I don't have my producer Tevin this week. He's being DJ Tev tonight.
Oh, right.
And yeah. So, and he forgot as well.
That's okay.
You weren't the only one, Daneana. Tevin forgot too. So so I can't put up. We want you to ask questions. If you're watching this on some other page, watch on the Profession Confession page, and then comment below the video, and then it will. Whatever, we will get to those questions as we can. So I usually do it one-on-one with these shows, but I think this is good. So we're gonna try to do it one at a time.
Able to handle this threesome?
I do all my best work with black women. Ask any. Go over north. Ask anyone. That's where I got my second apartment. No, I'm joking.
Oh, wow.
I'm joking. So I want to introduce each of you and say what you did to get into prison, I guess. So we have Shade. You did what for what?
Well, that wasn't my first rodeo. The first time
You've done
I had
2 stretches, right? Okay.
Yes, I did 2 bids. The first time I did, what was it, 86 months.
Okay.
And I did.
How much time did you do?
So that's like 5 years. That's like 6 years.
7 some months or something.
Okay.
So that was the first time
84.
I went to CIP, and it was co-ed. So me and another lady was the only 2 in that group to go in that program out of 100 men. So yeah, so it was 5 of us in the barracks That's it. That's all they carried was 5 women. So it's 3
5 women with how many men?
80 something men. Or 90.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. So
what the fuck?
I
don't even give a shit if that's like super low minimum or whatever.
Right.
Like I don't give a shit.
And that program
You don't put men in an advantage like that.
Man, it was so hard. I'm not gonna lie. The men program is. When I tell you they made me run.
Yeah.
I threw up and almost passed out.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what I mean. I was in a whole dimension.
What'd you get arrested for that one?
Drugs.
Drugs then. Selling what?
Hennepin County.
Okay.
Crack? Yeah.
Okay. And how much did you get caught with? I'm just curious, like
it
what?
was different times.
Because
I was
you were young,
stuff.
right?
I was young,
Yeah.
19. It was different stuff. Like I'd probably get caught with an ounce or half ounce. It wasn't big stuff at the time, but it was big to them because of back then, the 90s. It wasn't too many females selling drugs outside.
Right. How'd you get into that?
Gosh. Well, in Chicago, I started off in Chicago, and then end up moving to.
You can just stop right there, almost.
Yeah. And hung out with the wrong crowd, caught up with. I always magnated to the wrong crowd, and started.
Was it a boyfriend?
Yeah. It was
okay.
His boyfriend.
Gang affiliated?
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
You want to shout out that gang?
No.
No. Okay.
No, I ain't gonna do that.
Just making sure. Just making sure.
Take me back.
Oh my God! But yeah, so I did 24 months off that sentence because I went to CIP.
Do you feel like at that point in your life, you're 19 years old, gone to prison, were you just going along with the flow of things, or were you like kind of like scheming, like I gotta get this money, I gotta, did you know what you were doing essentially?
I was upset. I only had one child at the time. He was like 3 or 4 years old, maybe 4 or 5, and I was just in the. I didn't care about nothing. I was young.
You were just making money, like, but I mean,
so what made
but you went in eyes up, like I mean,
I did get a job, but it was a low paying job,
right.
Okay. And it made me mad. What was your job? Oh my God! When I got home, I went and worked at a manufacturing place in Rochester.
Okay.
Just assembly line work.
Did you work when you first had your son?
Yeah, I worked a little bit, but not really. I was making too much money to work all the time, Okay.
What kind of family did you come from? Like, I mean, were there people who had been in prison in your life?
Well, my uncle may have, but my mother never. My father, they were
pretty straight,
educated,
right?
Well off.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, Dad, owned buildings, owned manufacturing company and stuff like that. So, but him and they separated. So
that was like, made it even harder for you, probably, right? Like, I mean, that's it. As the fuck up in my family, right? Like, I mean, at different times in my life, I mean, most of the time in my life,
right.
I've been the fuck, I mean, I've been the heroin guy. I've been that, like, I had to come home at age 28. I was in Los Angeles. I was a fucking heroin addict for years. Had to call my parents at 28 years old. I had to live in their fucking basement. Like,
how much of a nightmare was that going back home?
Oh, it was the worst.
You didn't have.
I mean, I've done
time?
Thank God.
No.
Thank God I was fucking up by myself. That's the only thing I can say. But
so would you say your kids changed your way of thinking?
Oh, I mean, yes, no doubt. Like, I mean, and thank God. Like, I mean, I know there's people who just carry on. I was already trending 100 times better than I was, but absolutely, like. I didn't think about the future.
Right.
I didn't give a fuck about the future or even.
Just living day
no,
by day.
I wanted adventure. I wanted to do wild shit. I wanted that stuff, and I did it, and I did it really well.
You have how many kids do you have?
I have 2 kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the same mom.
Same mom. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
And so did she know?
That is nice. That's a bone.
Right.
Yeah, I found myself.
Did she know about your past?
Oh yeah.
No.
Yeah.
When you had your first.
Yes.
Kid. Okay.
Yes. So, I can say, I don't want to speak for her too much or even put her in this at this point that much, but I would say that a lot of people knew of my past. They don't think of the implications, right? That it's like, hey, this is someone who might struggle with this off and on. Like, this might be shit, because I'm seeing him in front of me now and he's good.
Right.
So it's good. He said he's good.
Right.
I asked him.
Right.
He said he's good.
Right.
No matter how fucked up on drugs he was, he'd say, no, I'm good. Because of course you say that. If you fucking tell him on drugs, then I'm in huge trouble. I used to always be amazed when people go, "You lied to me."
Do you right?
Of course I fucking lied to you.
Do you think that first of all, when you first had your kid, your first kid, did you go back? Did you relapse?
Yes.
Okay. And then how did she feel about that?
Terrible.
She stayed?
I mean, awful.
She stayed.
Yeah.
She stayed.
Wow.
For a while, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna interview you guys though.
Right. Okay.
So I appreciate that. I'm not afraid of it. I've just talked about a lot of this on my podcast, so I just want to go. Yeah. No, there's 4 episodes, whatever, on my heroin journey.
Okay.
So I've talked about it exhaustively. But yeah. No, that's fine. So with yours and your children, so you had one kid your first time. You did the CIP bid. So that was shorter. All right. You get home, back out, started selling drugs again right away?
Not then. I went and worked for a little bit, went to school and stuff, and got married, and we had more children. And we had 2 more kids together. So after that, we just got back into it.
Yeah. Just money stuff. Yeah.
Different situations was happening, and we just started back selling.
Yeah. So this was you and him together.
Yeah.
You guys were a package doing that. Yeah. How much were you moving in that second time? Did that get to be like real weight?
A lot. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
What'd you get caught with?
Oh gosh. We were smart. We didn't get caught with anything, but it was a conspiracy because it was like 22 of us.
You had 22
of us.
You had 22 people beneath you or with you?
Well, a little bit of both.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
What's the most amount of cash you've ever seen at once in your life?
Probably like...
God, I love this question.
Hundreds of thousands.
Hundreds of thousands?
Yeah.
God
Easy.
Damn.
Easy.
Will you marry me?
You know, right?
I'm so impressed.
I was making like 20 and 30,000 in one day. So it's like,
you're making 20, 30,000 one day. Queen pin. I was not off. Wow. And that money's that money, right? How much of it?
It's
so
addictive.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Very addictive.
So listen, I've never had I've never had anything even close to that level. But I've done shit in my life to know that getting money from outside things makes it really fucking hard. It's more addictive, or every bit as addictive as doing heroin.
Right.
And I mean that. Like, you start getting that money, and it's like, oh, getting $500 is really easy, and it's like, I'm gonna go spend it.
You spend it fast. You
it just
spend it fast as you get it.
And I was happier. I would say, when you look back on that time, do you feel like you were like happy, or was it so stressful? I mean, was it stressful?
I think we was more carefree, and we weren't thinking of different things we should have been doing. As far as when I look back, I'm like, darn, I should have opened up a business and did.
Yes, started like legitimizing it, even bury it in the fucking ground somewhere or whatever, like anything, right?
You
did that?
Yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
What? And she's next. I just want to know so when you say hundreds of thousands, you think you've seen 200,000, or do you think you've seen 800,000?
Probably in between.
Holy fucking shit.
Probably 200.
Okay. So
without, sweating.
Right. Right. So what did you have to deal with muscle and shit like that, or were you insulated from that as the queen pin?
Well, we didn't have any problems, no.
Right.
We were in a smaller town.
What were you selling?
Hey. Everything we could.
Everything you could? You sell heroin?
Hey.
Little bit? Yeah. I mean, because some drugs are scarier to get in, right? Because someone can die from heroin, and then all of a sudden that brings shit.
Do that.
Right. Not to mention, even I know, because I've done I've been a fucking junkie on everything, right? Wow. So it's like, I know when you do uppers, you do coke. I had no compunction about driving to my dealer's house in Hollywood at 3 a.m. and fucking boom, 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 like banging on his. I bang on his fucking window. I like looking back at it. You're just like, what a fucking man. He loved me. Like, this guy was a maniac. He had a $6,000 sex doll and all kinds of. He was a fucking nutcase. loved him though. I mean, it was very funny, but he was such a weird guy that it was like he did his accounting for his drug business like on a little yellow legal pad thing, and it'd be sitting in his kitchen. I'd see like, oh, you have $68,000 cash right now or whatever, and I'd be like, Jesus Christ, like you fucking hide this, dude, because this guy's a pussy. Like you could roll him like not. You had no army, you had no. Like I thought about robbing him, and I've never robbed anyone. But truly, I followed a heroin dealer around town once because I knew they had a stash spot. But this is the Mexican mafia. It would have been the dumbest shit in the world, but that's where your head's at, right?
Yeah,
I'd buy Coke from them or whatever, and then and I was a good customer, right? So I knew every now and then I could get away with some like fuckboy shit, right? So then I'd go and I'd repack the balloons with like baking soda and tell them it's like really little. And I go, you said it's supposed to, I bought 100 and you gave me 20 bag. What the fuck? So I did the whole thing and I'd give back the 20 and he'd give me the 100. And I mean, they did because
they liked you.
Because they liked me, they trusted me. They even knew, like, they might have even been, it's a coin flip if this guy's fucking with me, but you know what I mean? I had latitude because I like joking around with those guys and whatever. I loved being a drug person for like meeting the subculture people.
Oh yeah.
You know, until in South Central someone pulled a gun on me to say if I ever fuck with them. And I was like, I'm a white kid in South Central. I'm already scared. You don't need to fucking pull the gun. But yeah. So I mean would you deal in the house? Like were you dealing to dealers or were you dealing to
everything?
All levels. Right.
Yeah.
What's the small town? Can you say? Can you say? You said it was a small town.
Oh.
Can you say what the town is? No. It's okay. You don't have to.
My last bit in Olmsted County, we just say like
Olmsted County.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's where they gave me the most time.
Okay.
158 months.
Huh. All right. Daneana. Oh wait, no. Yeah. Yep. Let's go there, and then we'll talk about the kids and stuff like that.
Okay.
All right. So yeah. So you did 10 years feds, I know.
Yep.
Minimum. And I don't even know why you get feds versus state. Like what?
The amount.
The amount of drugs that you're moving. Really?
I mean, well, you can if you're a part of a conspiracy, you can get feds, and you don't even have to have no amount. You don't even have to have no drugs at all.
Right.
And it could just be the people that you're running with. Who you're a part of, what you're mixed up in.
Yeah.
And then they could just stumble upon you and you get caught driving with something, selling something, or somebody give them a tip and it's in your house. Whatever the amount is, it's going to go from state to federal. I don't really know much about the state because I was federal right out the gate. I mean, I had a state case when I was younger, but it really wasn't nothing. And then when I got 23, that's when I caught the federal case.
Okay. And where were you at in your life? So first of all, were you in the metro area?
Yeah.
Or you were. Okay.
North side.
And then so same thing, I assume, like affiliated in some way. Was it like family or?
It was just the luck of the person that was the snitch, because they just saw something that they weren't supposed to see.
Okay.
And when they saw that I had a key, they went and told, "Hey, get over here. She has this brick." That was a term that they used. So, get over here and.
Someone snitched on you just because they saw the brick?
They didn't get a sale from me. They never bought anything from me. They just happened to be with someone that came to see me right after me having my second daughter. At the time, my first daughter was 7. And then my second daughter, I had just come out the hospital with her. I wasn't even 24 hours out the hospiel. Like, I hadn't even had a bowel movement out.
Oh, my God.
And
it's the best way to mark time.
I wasn't even in, like really coherent because I was still on the medication from the hospital.
Right.
So when they came to my house, they was actually staying there, right? And they were just like in and out. And they was a friend of my boyfriend's at the time, right? My second daughter's dad. And they was friends with him. And so they just came over, and when they came, they saw it because I'm standing there talking to him about it, and it actually wasn't even supposed to be there. It was actually supposed to be moved.
I'm going to say, do you usually run it through your house?
Never.
But
it just was a part-time, you know.
Yeah. Shit happens, and it just
was meant to happen. Like, I don't even get mad about it. I don't even get upset about it. Like, when I was locked up, I prayed so hard about it to forgive that person, right? And to not be so angry about it. And I swear, God,
they must have hated you, though.
Much, yeah, that's what
I
mean,
for them to do, real.
I mean, I definitely...
Was it another woman?
A woman,
yes, of course.
A woman.
Now,
she didn't know
now
me.
It makes sense to me.
She don't.
Right.
She didn't know me.
But a woman can just hate the way you fucking stand.
And she just probably was just jealous, hating like this young girl getting this money.
Yep.
You know, everybody all on her, you know. And I hear her name ringing in the street, you know, I'm a turn her in or whatever. So that's how I took it.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and when they came in, it was there. It was a key in the house with me and my new baby.
And my new baby you're feeding.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and when they came, but you know what? When I wrote a book about it, you know, and I wrote that in my book, and I told the story more in depth of how a little bit more of how it actually went and the steps and everything at the time that it happened. But for the most part, yeah, I don't regret none of that. Only thing I regret is that I didn't get to raise my kids, but my mom raised my kids, and I feel, I mean, maybe they might say different. My two oldest kids, they might feel that, you know, hey, I should have been there, but I feel like my mom did the better job than what I could have done
at that point,
because my mind at that time, you know what I'm saying, where I was headed at that time, didn't care, wanted to dress the way I wanted to dress, drive the way I wanted to drive, you know, hanging out with who I was hanging out with, all of that. So at that time, being young and fast and, you know, just going, it probably was best. It probably saved me from death.
Having shit with them now even too, right? Like, I mean, I don't know how you are with them now. I hope good. You know, we've talked.
It's
always
turbulent sometimes. Yeah. But that's just because of, you know, as parents, I think that what we do, we're still shaking a finger in their face. You know what I'm saying? We're never. They're never not gonna be our kids. They're never not gonna be our babies to us. Right. So it's hard to adapt to being a parent sometimes, because it's like, how dare you not listen to me? You know what I'm saying? Who you think you talking to? But it's like, wait, hold up. You're talking to an adult now. They're not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
So everyone has to have respect, and kids even have to have respect. Like, they think because, oh, I'm grown, you can't tell me what to, I pay my bill. But hold up.
I'm still your mother.
It's your I'm your mother. You know what I'm saying? And still in all, you're here because I had you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't choose the life, right? But it was not all that bad. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel for my two kids. I got one that's 14 now as well, so she don't know nothing about that.
Yeah.
Right? But the two oldest ones, it's just like, your life, and that's just in my defense, I say, it could have been so much worse, and it wasn't. Yeah. So for me, it's it's turbulent sometimes, but, you know, I mean, everybody at some point have to get tired of beefing, you know, and at some point you have to, you know, when you're in your right state of mind, say, hey, you know, I miss my mom. Well, my mom, I need to call her and say this, you know, mom is the only one that could fix this. You know, people that are able to say that, you know what I'm saying? My mom is the one that can fix this, because everything to me is fixable. If it's respect there, you know.
So going back to that time, what were you moving, and what's the most cash you've ever seen at one point?
Oh,
we try to ask these questions that the audience wants to know. This like inside fucking scandalous shit.
Right. Okay. So me myself, I counted personally of mine back then, not now. Right. I wish it was the reality now. But I say back then, like 200 of my own, but 200 of mine that was actually mine. right? And yes, everybody was always talking about they was gonna rob me, and I've been robbed too. Yeah,
people who would talk about it.
Oh, they talk. Dudes talk about it because they just, loose
your
with
friends.
Their lips. No, dudes,
like kind of.
No, men.
Really?
Yeah, they would talk about it because they was usually intimidated by who I was running with at that time. So they assumed that they was
when
heavy.
they come buy it from you, kind of like
No,
say shit, or like people you meet on the street, kind of.
No,
okay.
No. Just in the street. Just
in the street.
In the air.
Clubs.
Yeah.
Just go out a lot. So.
Yeah. So when they see you back then, they would assume that you got all this money because you got a lot of jewelry. You got cute. You got to keep up your clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wore gaiters?
Yeah.
Did you really?
No problem with
that. All that stuff. Yeah.
I love that. I thought that was only pimps' provenance. I didn't know that. I really didn't know that. I mean, you weren't female pimps too, were you?
No. Oh, no.
There's one I've been trying to get on the show for a while from St. Paul. Yeah. I'm interested in it. But yeah, it's just interesting. But yeah, just like I think of you guys being female drug dealers. So I've interviewed and personally bought from many drug dealers, right?
Right.
And we have this guy who's we'll call him a friend of the show. We call him Timmy, who's been a long time Northside. You probably fucking know him. Long time dealer over there. We'll talk off mic because I'm sure that you know him for some reason. Now that his last name starts with blood, we'll say, I don't know, whatever.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we'll talk later. But anyway. And I asked him, it's one of the most vulgar answers I ever got, but I was like, your things like, women needing drugs, so might like suck your dick or whatever. And I was like, did you ever do that? And he goes, hell yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, like it was the grossest answer too, because I was like, because he's like a 60-year-old guy now. Okay. So then he was probably 50. Look, I'm 42. When I now see 18, 21-year-old women, they look like babies to me. Like truly.
Right.
My floor having sex age is probably like 28 now. You know what I mean? Like I'm mature.
Right.
But so it was just so gross to me like that he did. Yeah. But did you ever have a situation? Did you ever go, yeah, if you eat this pussy, you can have this?
No.
We have guys would come and ask you, but I'm like,
no.
Guys would come at you?
I don't know. So girls, it would be different. It's different. It's like,
for sure.
I'm gonna say this: if you're in our position, and we were gonna do that, we're gonna do that with someone that's on a higher level.
Yes, of course.
Of course, to get what we want, right?
Right.
That's the only way that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
nobody's like we're not men, so we're not that sexually aroused.
No.
When you're a woman, you're sexually aroused usually. Especially if you're hustling, right?
Yeah.
You're sexually aroused with somebody that you're vibing with, you're messing with, that you're attracted to. So you're definitely not just like, oh, I'm just horny, I want to get. You're thinking about the person that you want to get it off with, not with.
You guys, hold on. But Sade said, "Oh yeah, but they come at you with it." That did happen, like routinely. See that fucking?
Yeah, they'll ask you. They'll tell you. They'll undress you.
I'll beat their butt back then.
Right.
You'll jump on them.
Right.
Really?
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
They would undress you with their eyes and say that, but you're not.
No. And I didn't, believe me, I would have hit the floor if you said yes to that question, but I got to ask it. And truly though, like that. I mean, I should know that men would offer you that, I guess. Like, I'm just always amazed at how guys, like, even in their, like, at the bottom of, like, drug addiction and shit, and still think that some woman wants to fuck you. Like that's a gift that they can fuck you.
Oh, God.
Yeah. God. How about...
As far as money, though.
Yeah.
I did actually witness somebody that I was dealing with, this dude. He, it was a short relationship. It wasn't even a relationship, a situationship, right? And so he was big or whatever, and he was like a supplier to you, probably. Super sized. No, I never got anything from him.
Okay.
He actually used to give me dope to talk to him, right? To mess with him.
Really?
And he never sold me any, no. But my friends bought from him, though, right?
Okay. He
liked me, and he told me to come and meet him one time to get some dope. And he had, no exaggeration, he had $1 million on his apartment floor. and him and two of his friends was sweating repeatedly. Like he came to the door, and he was like, he forgot. I think he probably had tooted a line or something. I'm serious. Because when he came to the door, he kept doing this, and then he's like standing there, he's sweating. I'm like, what's going? You know, we're young, right?
Yeah.
We're like,
how old were you at this time?
At
20.
I was like 20, and it's like, what? I'm looking. He's real tall, and I'm looking up at him, right? Tall, light skinned. He's kind of like a big dude, and I'm just looking up at him. It's like, what's
the matter? Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, what's going on? So I'm like, done. You know, like when I'm walking towards him, and I'm trying to go in the apartment, because usually if he calls me and I go up, I just walk right in his house and whatever. So when I go in, I'm going towards the door. He's like, he's like hesitant, right. And then he just was like, "Fuck it." So
yeah, as if this woman's not gonna like me for having $1 million.
I was kind of like, I was nervous because I was like, "Oh my God!" Like, you know, this looks like some mafia.
Feels hot, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Also, it feel like are the cops gonna bust in here at any fucking moment? I'm not used to seeing $1 million goddamn dollars.
And I just asked, just like you asked. I just asked, like, what the I was like, wow. Like, you know, a man, and he was like, come on, you know, like, come on, girl. Like, hurry up and go to the room, right?
You know, you start grabbing it,
so
putting your
I'm
purse.
like slowly holding my purse,
right?
Like it was like the room was moving, and so I'm going towards his bedroom, and I'm looking, and their friends are like, you know, looking, they're hoping. And, you know, I think back now, at that time, they were hoping he would go in that room with me, so they probably was right, stuff some money, but he didn't. He was really, really aware. He was like, just like, go in the room. And then so I went in the room. He didn't want me there that long.
Yeah. So
he was like, what did you say you needed? And I thought about that money out there. And he looked, I didn't say a word.
Right.
He looked back at me.
You were like dizzy from the fuck. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I need $5,000.
But no, you know what he did? It didn't know. He just, it hadn't been counted. So he grabbed a wad and he hands it to me. And he was like, if it's more, just be honest, man. Just be honest, man. Just be honest. He kept saying, just be honest, man. Just be honest. He just grabbed
Sounds like someone's on coke in a big way.
Yeah, stack of money. Grab it, give it to me, get up out my crib. That's really
let me
what
handle
my
business.
Right.
So he was just like, and then he opened the door because they were telling him, you let her leave. They was telling him not to let me leave. So I was like skipping damn near broke my foot getting down the step because I'm thinking like, is a bullet gonna come or they gonna tie me up? You know, because I come and interrupt. You're not supposed to.
No,
you're not
certainly
supposed to
not.
Let nobody leave. I wasn't supposed to leave.
But why not leave? I mean, in a way, because they know you're his friend.
Over.
Right.
Yeah.
They
certainly.
Me.
Right.
They know me.
Right.
You know, I'm the ops. You know what I'm saying? They don't know me. They're looking at them are his people.
Yeah.
So when you're in an organization, people know people, right? And maybe they never heard my name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's saying D in front of them, but he calls me Nina. So he's saying D in front of them. So all this is making sense to me when I'm getting down to the bottom of the steps because I'm saying,
of course they thought that or whatever.
What?
Yeah.
But wait a minute, he calls me, you know, he says Nina. He said D, and I'm thinking he's giving a sign. He's you know. So when he opened his apartment door back and he said, "Hey," I thought he was. So I'm like trying to get down and get out. I'm like, huh? Like you hear a little voice saying, huh?
Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, don't be talking to nobody."
Oh, because they don't want to get fucking robbed, right? Like,
right.
I mean,
no.
Like, I mean, if nothing else.
And what happened? There wasn't at that time. It wasn't cell phones.
No.
Okay.
His page.
But still,
he's paging me.
I'm understanding why they wouldn't want you to leave now.
He's telling me to call this other phone, right? Not the house phone, another phone. And when I go to the payphone, I was like, "What's wrong?" He said, "I said don't talk." I said, "I'm not. I'm going home." I didn't even go talk to nobody.
Right.
I went home and went to sleep.
Okay.
That very next morning, he's paging me. And he's asking me like, "You didn't tell nobody? Did you tell?" And I never told nobody about it because I was
because that shit's life and death at that point, right?
Because the people in the house was like, and when you're in moving like that, you only vaguely see people's face. You know what I'm saying? You're not zero.
Yeah, you're not looking at people and
fact,
right.
Looking all in their
so,
right. You give enough eye contact, let them know don't fuck with you, but then not, right.
Yeah.
And if you're actually scared like that, you don't even fucking look over it at all. Right.
And when he came and he saw me the next day, he came to my house and he saw me, he said, he talked to me, he knew that I was telling the truth. I was like, I ain't tell nobody. And he's standing in front of me, he's like, how much money was that? I never told him.
How much was it?
Laughing. I said, was what you said it was. Right. It was what you said it was. I never.
He just gave you $5,000?
But think about it. It was a hush.
Yeah,
it was a hush thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't even I'm gonna give you the $5,000. It was just a hush. And on top of that, I hadn't had sex with him. And I
was just about to say how good your shit must be, but that. But
no, he was getting there. He was getting to that point, and eventually down the line.
Yeah, but I'd say that sped up the process quite a bit.
He was still trying to get there, right? Yeah. He hadn't crossed that bridge yet, so it was like, how is this girl? I hear about she's in the street. I know she's cool. I know she gets money. What's up with her? You know what I'm saying? Can she keep a secret? Is she quiet? Whatever. And it just was like, I didn't have no reason to tell nobody anything.
How did you start? What was your situation when you were selling? Because first of all, how big is $200,000 in an apartment? Like how big is $200,000? Well, like fill up a shoebox?
No, way more than it. Well, if it's all hundreds.
Right. Yeah. I guess I don't know what yours was at all. So yeah, just try to paint the picture for me. What does it look like?
Try to get all hundreds. It wasn't all hundreds, but try to get all hundreds, and you bury it. You bury it in a safe place, and you don't even go back. You go start over.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you start over, and you got more dope.
Were you disciplined like that?
Yep.
Yeah.
At that time, yeah. But I was disciplined like that because somebody else that I was dealing with was a little older than me, and they was teaching me that. Don't spend all your money.
Yeah.
Buy you and your daughter a crib. Like don't do that. Like he really turned me on to a lot of things discipline wise. He wasn't even my boyfriend. But he cared about me though. Really and he probably really was trying to be my boyfriend, but he was moving so fast.
But still,
Yeah, but he was disciplining me, and he's the one who got me to buy me a property back then, and that's how I even got into real estate, was way back then. And
how'd you get started in the game, in general?
I got started in the game because I saw it in my childhood. I saw it in houses that I was around and in, growing up in, friends' house, family members' house. You know what I'm saying?
How old were you when you started to sell?
This is
do you
how
remember? Do you remember your first sale?
This is how it actually starts. I started from selling candy in junior high.
Yeah.
Right? Buying candy and reselling it, learning that game. Then you teach yourself how to count fast.
Right.
Because the money is ultimately what turns you on, right?
Yeah.
So then you hear they're selling weed. Okay, well, let's see the weed. And then, there's people that, I knew that they sold weed. So I was like, okay, I don't want to sell weed. Nah, weed was slow. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So then Actually, when I started selling dope, though, was when I was pregnant with my daughter. And a friend of mine she was hustling. She didn't have no kids. And so just watching her and then having her back doing it, then I just started doing it. It really wasn't, it's just
when you say dope, do you mean coke or?
Yeah, coke, yeah.
Okay, heroin. All right.
Yeah, I never did.
When I say dope, that's heroin to me. But yeah.
I don't know
I'm always confused
at all.
I always get pissed when people say dope and then they're talking weed.
No.
Like, you motherfucker. That's not even a drug. Right. So when you start selling, and this is for both of you, like answer for both of you whenever, right? Mm-hmm. So when I'm just thinking of, you're both young women starting to sell cocaine, right? Mm-hmm. And you got parents around, you got uncles, you got you get your first little grip of fucking coke to sell, which I'm sure was like an 8-ball to start with or something like that. I would imagine.
Exactly what it was. 16.
Okay.
16. Yeah. 16. Yeah.
Who'd you start selling to? And then first of all, did the person front it to you, or did you save up $300 or whatever, $150, whatever cost was?
You know what? It was for me, it was my friend. Like I said, my friend was doing it, and I was watching her do it. She was telling me how it worked. and she was showing me how to. That's so funny. She was showing me on a plate
How to cut it up.
How to step on it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then she
What'd you cut it with?
I watched
Simulac?
her. No.
Okay.
This was we would
was
use
already
it was already hard, so we already brought it as crack. And
okay.
it was
Okay, you
already
bought it as crack.
And then she would break it down with a safety pin. Right.
Really? Okay.
And
why that?
Hey, I don't know.
Okay.
It's 16, so break it down
Right,
with
right.
a safety pin. We look at it, try to get 10 rocks out of the 16.
Okay.
8 to 10. Turn that into what? Like 400. You try to, but you really probably get 3.
3,
Because you get somebody a deal.
Yeah.
And then, you turn a 3 into 6, 6 into 9, and then you get your ounce.
Yeah.
Then you're in the game. Once you get to the ounce, then it's...
You got to run that back for me. And I've smoked crack before many times. So
Back then it was kind of. More.
you'd buy one like nugget,
Yeah.
right? You get one crack nugget, bust it up with a safety pin.
Yeah.
And then you try to get that into how many rocks?
10.
10 rocks.
It's usually
But then how'd you
eight
divide it again? That's
You
that's
just
where I'm
take
lost.
You sell all of it.
and go get a ball.
Gotcha.
Go get 8 balls.
Okay. Climbing the ladder. You just keep
Climb
okay.
the ladder, climb
I
the
thought you
ladder.
kept
Yeah.
breaking up the fucking rocks. I was like,
no.
how much you guys step on this shit? You sell
Well, you
exclusively
step
to
on
white kids or what?
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't even know anybody white I ever be.
Not back then.
No, north
Yeah.
side, south side, and
How'd you find your clientele
just
like
walking up and down
when
the
selling crack?
Just
Walk
walking up
up
and
and
down.
down
the
the
street.
Truly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Up and down.
The first time I bought like shit over north, I remember it was like a summer night, like 10 p.m. where it's like still there's some light, but it's dark.
Right.
And I was high on shit already, right? So I'm already I'm 23 years old. And I just drove to North because I'm like, I'm sure I can find some drugs there. Like, I didn't fucking know anyone, right?
Right.
That's how I was a maniac. Right. Yes.
Wait, you went
No,
on
exactly.
Broadway to
I
get
came up
heroin?
Broadway. Then I took a right.
Wow.
And I just started driving around. But all of a sudden, I'm like, it's like Night of the Living Dead out here. There's people walking in the fucking streets. Like, truly, where I'm like driving around people in the streets because they're looking at me, white kid in a fucking Subaru or whatever.
Right.
And they're like, what the fuck is it?
and they were scared of you.
Oh, and I was scared of them.
Right.
Believe me, it was mutual fucking fear. But I'm just like, have the window cracked. Like, do you know where I can get some crack or whatever I was trying to get? And it just, it blew me away how much people were walking on the street. Just people are out on the street.
Right.
Yeah.
You go in a white neighborhood, everyone's in their fucking houses.
Right.
Yeah.
So to all of a sudden see people on the street at 10 p.m. and I see kids playing, like everyone's out, like it's a fucking festival or whatever. It just blew me away. So so I can see how you just start doing that.
Yes.
Now-
And when you're as you level up though, you're not doing
Trying to be out the
Right.
streets. Yeah.
I mean, that's the first thing you do is get off the fucking street, right?
Yeah, you're not doing that.
And this is like what, 97 or something like that, or like what?
No,
90.
90.
90,
Oh, 90?
89, 90, 90, because we were young.
Black doesn't
we-
crack.
we-
God, you guys are young. Or older than I thought. You guys look so
I was
fucking
pregnant
young.
at 16.
I thought you're my age.
Yeah.
You're a little bit older than me.
Yes, we are 5 years.
No, I'm younger than you, honey. No, I'm just kidding.
You might be. You look younger than me. But you were out. I mean, maybe you just were selling drugs early. I was
Yeah,
playing
we
Little
were.
League.
I
We
think
were
Yeah, yeah.
15.
I was 12 years old.
15?
Yeah.
I was working at Dairy Queen.
Oh gosh, I was working
15
at
years
McDonald's.
old, I got a job
I
at
was
Dairy
at
Queen.
McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's,
Yeah.
Hardee's.
We
I
still
worked
had
all of
half
them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That was another job.
So when you started, this is so awesome. So you're a 15-year-old girl, 16-year-old girl, little cute girl selling crack.
Yes.
Now, crack is a drug that people get a little fucked up,
Yes.
and they act a little fucked up.
Oh, they
we
do.
were dancing and
How'd you
screaming.
deal with that shit? Like when,
We thought it was funny.
Yeah,
that's
do you remember the
Yeah.
first time someone
did something weird?
what's the first time you were scared as a dealer?
Oh, when they try to rob you.
Yeah.
Okay.
When
What's the
they
first
got
time, what's the first
I
time
had
you
a
just got
gun
robbed?
pointed in my face.
Yeah.
How old are you?
17. 17.
17 years old, someone put a gun in your face.
Yep, right in front of
Old guy?
It was,
Like older guy?
Couple of guys. They were older, and we was in the parking lot. We was at Sonny's, and we were in the parking lot across from Sonny's and Sears, and that dude put the gun in my face, and I'm looking at the gun.
Were you selling, and then someone came up?
I was in the process of selling to him, and and I'm looking at the barrel. He's like, "Give me all your stuff." I'm like, "Huh?" I threw it behind me. I said, "What, mo?" And I said, "Get the hell up!" And I said, "Woo, woo! Hey, geez!" And I
Right.
calling everybody, "Woo, woo! I'm getting robbed." Everybody ran and kicked they ass.
No shit.
Oh, it went down.
So you had an army around you.
Yeah, it went down, baby.
So now,
But
this
yeah, it was kind of foolish because I'm young. I'm thinking I'm hard.
Woo, woo!
I got the everybody started running.
Oh my God! I mean, it's like you guys lived in
Danger zone.
Like, don't be a menace to South Central or whatever, or whatever, or menace to society. That's what it is.
Worse,
like for real, I watched that movie when I was 13, 14, like, and I wanted to be black so bad. I thought it was so fucking cool. And it's like, you guys are there in the real shit.
We were in the life.
I was in my dad's speedboat, you know, like, I wish I was black. I mean, it's so fucking stupid. It was unreal. Like, what a dork I was.
Yeah.
But
we lived a dangerous life at the time.
Right.
We didn't know. I mean, yeah.
And so when someone put a gun in your face,
Man,
I just think it's so funny that your instinct was to your, like,
Yeah.
woo, and like, and I get that they're there waiting. Yeah.
Everybody knew what the help call was.
Yeah.
Right.
And were you so this is a stereotype that many people are going to have who are watching this when they have women drug dealers, right? Mm-hmm. There's sexism, and they're going to be like, their boyfriend who runs the gang is the one who's doing it. You're just sitting in the car selling it, and they're, you know what I mean? Like, like you're like a pawn, kind of, right?
Well, we never
You're
really
saying you
had a boyfriend say, "Go sell."
Right.
We
Right.
We ended up running our own thing.
Yeah,
it was
we
just
didn't
a
ever
group
have.
of us.
Yeah,
Girls
it was a
clicked
group
together,
of girls. Yes.
and we just
Really?
we stood on the
Yes,
block
it was
together. We
plenty
made
of
sure we left together,
Yeah.
or it might be a 5 on her side, 5 of us, and then they'll go home and we'll stay up all night, and you know what I'm saying.
Did you guys know each other back
We
then?
grew up together.
Okay.
And then you always
Were you
had-
selling together at that age?
Yeah.
You two motherfuckers, right?
Yeah, we was in school together, parenting school, and that's how we. You know,
Parenting school is how you met?
Pregnant, yeah, sewing together.
So you guys were pregnant together? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And then you said, "Hey, we should sell some crack."
No.
No.
Our journeys on
already.
that
Like,
was a little
"Ooh,"
different.
you know, right.
And then when we say like, "Oh,
Girl, you
you
was
been
out
doing
here,
that?
yeah.
Okay, well, I'm
Really?
coming with you." Yeah, it's like, well, you know, hey, you on the block? Where you at? What you doing? You been out there? How is it? You know,
Yes.
it's like a, you know, hey, is there some money out there? Should we
Yeah.
go out there? You know,
Exactly.
and that
how
was
it
like.
was.
Summer, winter, spring.
Yeah,
fall, you
we
know
were
what I'm
like,
saying?
oh, it's
You
3 in the
would-
morning. Everybody at the ATM. Come
Yeah.
on, meet over here.
Yes.
We
And be
meet
like,
up
well,
at the
who's
ATM
going with
and everybody
look,
be
who's
telling-
going with you? You got somebody you got to do with you. We ain't stupid now.
Yeah.
Oh, does he holding? He got a pistol, you know. So
Right.
You got.
So
your
that's
homeboy,
exactly what I was
and
gonna
it's
ask,
not-
is like-
it's not. It doesn't have to be our boyfriend.
Right.
Like, we're just smart enough to know.
Would
like,
you pay the dudes? Sort of like look, you're my muscle tonight.
Right.
I'll give you what?
Or they.
What's
might
the
run
arrangement?
out. We might be the one to supply them. They might run out, and they're glad. Oh, girl, you ain't got. Don't sell that. Sell it to me. Let me get my money. And then you're saying, okay, I'm gonna let him get his money.
Yeah.
Or
I
they gonna
wish-
you and then just think some dudes is looking at it as, oh, I'm gonna go with Nina and Shade. Oh, wait. Oh, they gonna go get what? Shoot, he won't sell me none. He'll sell them some. You know, it's just it's always a barter situation.
I gotta interpret this for the white people out there. There's a lot of slang going around there. But so what you're saying, because you're just blowing a fucking hole in my head right now, to think that I could have found female drug dealers and gone, oh, if you hang around and like attack people for me, you can have this for free.
Or just watch our back.
Yeah, right.
Or
No, I get it.
Go get the customers, and if you even suspect like, oh, he ain't straight.
Yeah.
He's a police. You don't care. You care because you're saying they gonna supply me all night. I ain't gotta spend my money.
Right.
They gonna make sure I'm straight.
No, I would have loved it. I would have been so good for you guys. God, I would have been a little pit bull for you.
But just think, back then, the 90s is one hand wash the other. It
Yeah.
was a little more better than
Little more honor?
now. Yeah, way more.
Because now informants get paid
honor.
fucking
Way
cash
more
from the
honor.
police, and
Yeah.
right, yeah.
And then it's cutthroat. You might see somebody they get mad at you. Oh, they selling this and that, and they gonna call. You know, they get mad. Just jealousy. It's too much jealousy.
Did you have territory back then? Like, I mean, was there a corner that was yours, or not really?
No,
you just
we
kind of
didn't-
float around and.
We didn't do all that, but It seemed like when we came out on the block, everybody wanted to mess with us.
Yes, and they was gonna hog it. Oh, mine's is bigger. Oh, don't go over there. You know,
go to them.
It's a hogger, right? And then there was plenty of people.
Hold on, was it like an open air market where like people are going, no, don't buy from these bitches. I got fucking, you know what I mean? Like it was like that.
They probably weren't that loud. I don't remember nobody being that loud, but they were saying it.
Really?
And they was doing it though. They were blocking us. Oh,
right.
They were always trying to block us. And then if we was back then, especially in the wintertime, you would go to somebody's house, right? We would get certain people's house that, you know, smoked or whatever, and they'd be like, y'all come over here, you good. If there was a pistol in the house, we would be good, and we would tell them, like, no, hey, they can't come all the way in, you know. They only one at a time.
At the door.
People would come to your house.
No, we would go to their house.
You'd go to their house. Okay. Because that's what I was going to ask you. Like,
it was called the spot.
The spot.
The spot.
They call it trap house now.
Yeah.
The spot.
Right.
Okay. So someone had a spot, a trap house, and you guys would sell your shit there, but you'd say you guys have security there for us, basically.
We would we didn't want their security.
No.
Because they could have been on anything. You know, it wasn't like we trust somebody that, you know, smoked. You know, we didn't really trust them like that. It was just like it had the game. You know what I'm saying? And if they're hitting us up like, come over here, ain't nobody here, these dudes was here earlier, you know, they would name off different people that was there earlier. Okay. And we'll say like, well, damn, if they was there, then shoot, there's still some money there. You know what I'm saying? They ran it. Well, why did they leave? You know, we smart.
They
like,
ran out.
Why did they leave? They ran out, or they said that they'll be back. And it's been a couple of times that we've been, you know, it has not always been pretty, you know. We've been gangstered out of you know, our spot before. We've been checked before. We've been, you know, like, you know, men, you know, they're aggressive.
Listen,
they've done pinned us in the positions to where we be, you know, a little intimidated and scared. And then, you know, we don't always want to show our hand, and, you know, we wouldn't show our muscle or even involve our boyfriend or, you know, our crew of people that we're dealing with at the time. You know, we were really smart at that time. You know, girls nowadays, I look at it as they be a little reckless by, you know, they put their boyfriends and family members into things, you know. Back then, we were more like, hey, if it's not about life or death, don't come calling me, don't come telling me about nothing, about what's going on or what you done, because, you know, what was you doing? You know what I'm saying? So we really tread lightly on those type of situations. We wasn't thirsty to just go up into anybody's house and sell. We, like you said, we could be right out on the corner and get our money on the corner.
Yeah, you can float. You can go to Dairy Queen parking lot and fucking make some money.
Exactly. If it's 2, 3 in the morning, or it's midnight when the money hits, when the money hits on the 1st or the 30th or whatever, we're there.
That's a thing?
Post it up.
So like, so it's the 1st or the 15th.
Yeah.
It's midnight, so we got to go get our shit out, like, or get our people out at GAT. Really?
Oh yeah, you see, back then, all up and down. Lake
I've never heard that.
Broadway. It wasn't no ATMs on Plymouth. Franklin.
I live East Lake.
Yeah, it's at the SA down on past Chicago and Franklin.
Okay, man.
Cab stand.
It's packed.
I'm
talking about packed out to like some parade is going on.
How many people would you guys have? So how many people would you guys have running for you? Because you said over north, but now you said Lake Street, Franklin, whatever.
All over the place.
So you'd send people out with your shit.
Yeah.
Like you've sent what? Like you'd have like 5, 6 people.
We would have our own. We would have our own, and then it might be somebody that was running for us that we could trust, right? But usually you don't trust nobody that's smoking with your work,
right?
You know, you don't do that. So, I mean, they run, they bring them back, or they say, you know, hey, they got the money, they gave me the money, so here goes the money. Then they go, and they'll go in the corner and they'll take off whatever they gonna take off, go get the people their stuff. You know, it's still a game, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's all a game, so they would, you know, work their hand, you know, and the best they could, and we would too. Like
every 100, they get $20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about so she said about her first time getting robbed. What was your first time?
Okay, so
I didn't get robbed.
Oh, that's right, you did. Attempted robbery.
Attempt robbery. My first time getting robbed, I got robbed a couple times. It just wasn't as violent as the second time, right?
Okay.
First
What
time
was the first
like
violent time?
First time was like a switcheroo on me.
Oh, yeah.
What'd they do?
Like I'm at the payphone, and they
back when they had payphones,
and one of the runners run up on me and they say, "Hey, somebody want a quarter? I just so happen to have a quarter, so I'm digged down in my pants. I get to pull out the quarter."
Where would you keep it?
You already know.
You did.
Okay.
That's where you
Not
keep
that
it.
far down, but in my panties.
That's way better than me taking drugs out of some fucking dude's ass. I mean, I gotta say,
it happens.
I'd pay a premium just to get it out of cootie.
Right. It happens. So then I hand it to him, and then he says he takes literally not even 2 steps. Cause I say, yo, and I'm like on the phone and doing this. I say, you said you got the money. Where the money at? You know? And he's like, oh. And then he did, I don't know with his hand, but when he handed it back, I didn't pay attention at the time.
Right. You're on the phone.
Wasn't it.
What was it?
It wasn't it.
It was like just something else.
I looked at it, and it wasn't even all the way even packed. It was plastic, and what it was he knew the formula and how I twist my dope up and how it looks. So he already had his plan on. He was going to
I would have done that play. Yeah, that's sort of like my baking soda play.
That happened to me, and that happened a couple of times. I done had people pop the stuff up my hand and run.
Hey, pop it out of your hand?
Yes. Like you hold it open like that.
Do you know what the Mexican...
like this and pop it up out your hand, and it's like...
Do you know what the Mexican mafia would do to me? This is when like I got a little junkie-ish and a little bit like whatever. But so they drive around in Hollywood with balloons, in their mouth, right? And they drive around with it in their mouth, like fucking 20 balloons or something like that, different sizes, right? Once they don't like you as much, or you fuck them a little bit, or maybe you ask for too many credits or something like that, they start turning and be like, hey, here's, let's say I'm buying a 20. We always knew that they would accept if you have like 16. 16 is like really a 2016. Because if you can get 16, they'll fucking sell it to you. So you get 16, and then all of a sudden one day they started doing this, and they'd turn and go. And he'd spit the fucking balloon onto my hand.
Whoa.
So then I started wiping my ass with the $20 bill fucking and folding it in and then giving it to him that way. So that was like my dirty fucking thing back. Well, just because like, fuck you, it gets...
integrity-wise, you still feel like have some respect. Like,
it got to that point, right? Like, and honestly, well, they did pop me in the face once too. But other than that, it was actually very respectful and very good for the most part. But they would, I assume because they swallowed them, right? Like, I mean, if shit went down, I assume they just fucking, gulp them like that.
Bust. Ooh, they're dead.
Right. It blew me. And they'd be double ballooned a lot.
Get into holding it in my mouth, because a couple of times I held it in my mouth and too much spit and too much saliva. Your tongue get the numbing, and you get this like, you just throw it away.
Yeah.
It's like, and I'm not swallowing this. I'm gonna die.
Yes.
I'm just not gonna have no bunch of stuff on.
How do you feel seeing people from your, these are people from your community sometimes. I assume someone came to buy from you once in a while, or you'd be like, oh, uncle, or whatever, right? Yeah. Like, was that hard to sell to people that you...
Yeah, I would never
like from your community.
Nobody, I never ever sold to nobody pregnant, but I know people that did. And I just could not see. I seen pregnant women.
Do you ever turn someone away pregnant? Like where you go, no, I'm not.
Like girl, good. And back then that wasn't out. Girl, goodbye. I'd be like, no. No, not giving. I just no. Come on in and try to convince you. I got $1,000 and sound real good. Let's go in.
Right, but
I'm like, I'm not gonna. That's conscience wise. I feel like that's why God probably saved me. You know what I'm saying? From those times, because I didn't do none of that. You're not getting nothing from me pregnant. And then the women that would, and men that would sell all their kids' food stamps. It's like, man. Oh no, I don't want them. Come on, no. That's not open up.
Also, I don't want your fucking food stamps. Like, go fucking.
No. Because you will buy them.
Yeah.
Depending, and you know what the girls would start doing? The ones that were, I would say those were coaster type of people that smoke drugs because they would coast through. They do it on the weekend or do it on the first or do it,
chippy.
Right, right. And so those
chippy.
women will call you, I got some stuff. And yes, you can come look at my refrigerator. Yeah. All my kids I got them out the way first, and this is what I got left. I got everything. They'll compromise with you because they know that you're going to make sure that they got some good stuff, though. You're not going to beat them. And they're not having a penny pinch because they know if they go on that block, they're going to have to get $20 for dollar. I'm not going to get more for my money. If I come to somebody that's selling weight, I'm going to get more for my money. And then they'll let me, if I still got $300 in food stamps, they'll let me get the $150, whatever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
you're bringing me to a dark spot here.
Even because we've seen like 13 and 14-year-olds coming back. I'm like, how old are you? Are you trying to buy crack? No,
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
Out. I'm like, no.
Yeah, and that's because they seen their parents.
Yeah.
Of course.
They watched their parents doing it, so they
Every kids who ran who are couriers for their parents?
Yeah.
Like, often? Like, would you see that?
I wouldn't say carriers. I would say they would,
we're like, mom sent me to get this from you. Yeah. Is that,
but
is that okay?
They don't go, no, it's not okay. No,
and
they don't
I guess I know it's not okay.
They don't go to no one. Now, I've witnessed it. I've never did it, but I've witnessed it. And it's always someone that is a family member of theirs. So.
Right.
It's or someone that they know. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom sent me up here. She said you weren't answering the phone. I heard that before. You weren't answering the phone. She sent me up here. And then I wasn't answering the phone because you play
because
it
you're
back
a junkie. You're fucking annoying the shit out of me.
Right, I'm not giving you nothing to give to your mom.
Right,
and then I've never actually witnessed no adult give it to a kid though. But I've seen a kid try come get it. Yeah. But I've never actually saw an adult, not even a young 17, 18-year-old, see somebody that's 13 or 14. Like no, like conscious wise. Back then, you're like, yeah. No, it's not. That
okay, it so this is the dark spot that you guys brought me to, is that I used to, honestly, you just reminded me of something where I'm like, oh my God, I did that shit. Like just bargaining with dealers, right? Where it's just like, come on, it's 1 a.m. or 3 a.m., but I really need it, or just where it's like, I really need a credit, like, I'm getting money on Wednesday. Right. I am, and
that happens.
Where I'm being that emotional, sort of, right? Like truly in my life, like if there's hell, it's me having to rewatch footage of me begging drug dealers for fucking, like truly, that would be if my children saw it. Like, oh my God, dude, I'd pull my face off. Like it's just like, oh. Because I absolutely did that. Anymore. Oh my God! Right. Nor was it before, or it was only in that moment, right? Like when you're a junkie and you get to that level where it's like, and I saw people around me doing that shit routinely, and I would look down on them. But everyone's got, if you're a junkie, you're gonna have a moment, right? Where like there's gonna be that weekend or something where it's like, I'm getting money. Right. I always pay you, Right. But this weekend I need this, and my habit's big, so you got to give me like a big credit here, sort of, and it's like I hated having to bargain. Like I hated that, that I did lower myself like that. Right. What's the lowest that you saw someone like, and how did you react to it? Were you disgusted by it sometimes? Were you sympathetic? Do you ever feel really bad?
Sometimes I felt bad.
I felt bad sometimes, but then at the same time, I'd be like,
"What's the stuff that would make you feel bad? Like, what's an example?"
Because they begging,
Yeah,
right.
And you
a grown man who's older than you,
right? And you've grown a friendship,
right?
You're still human. You're still human.
Yeah.
So
I would say I'm friends with all my dealers,
right?
Like, and truly have love for them,
right?
In this weird way, even if they treated me shitty. I'd still have you have a vibe. It's like we're meeting on this dark thing,
right,
or this illegal thing, or whatever. And it's like I still need you, and you need me.
Right.
Even though you don't think that as a junkie, you just think I need them. But there is a weird connection. There's a weird junkie dealer connection that's hard to explain to people who don't do it.
Sometimes
right?
You get to a point you be like, you're not spending no more money.
Right.
I'm not giving you nothing.
Right.
Really?
You'll have to be the parent.
The mom.
Like the
right.
parent.
Right.
And tell them, nah, man, you've been doing too much. Go home. Go to sleep.
Right.
And you better not go over there and get nothing from such and such.
Right.
Oh, I've done that plenty of times.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh, okay, well, go over there. And then tomorrow, you ain't got nothing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What are you going to clean? And then look how they did you last time. Then you get to, because you're not mature. So you get to throwing up in their face. Well, look what they did to kicked you all up your butt, threw you outside, made you have sex with all these different, because there was them stories back then, right? It was that reality.
What's the worst story that you heard like that? Oh. As far as like people, because, men, like, so I do a lot of sex worker podcasts, and I adore sex workers, actually. Like, I find them to be many of the most intelligent and like interesting women that I've met and stuff. But I also love hearing their stories because they're on the front lines of human depravity, and men are the most depraved, right? Like, then men do the most fucked up shit all the time.
Yeah.
It's like one female serial killer, There's
That's
fucking
true.
thousands of men, right? Like, we're just grosser like that. Did you ever hear shit like that about your male counterparts? I was just like, the fuck are we doing here? You know what I mean? Where it's like,
you hear,
especially turn out young girl shit. It's got to be so hard to.
You hear a lot of like dudes that you would not even think in that way.
Those guys are the worst.
Yeah, and
truly, I think.
And you would say, you would look at this dude. He got all this money, he got all these women. He want that little girl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he was messing with a little girl. He was, you hear those type of things, and it's like, you did what? Like, you in your mind, you're like,
can't believe it.
You can't believe it, but then it's like, you know what? Why? Why are you putting the emphasis on he couldn't, just because you see all this stuff that he has, right? And you see all these people praising him. There's something psychologically wrong, you know what I'm saying, to where he would even step in that form, right? There's little tests as women when you're dealing with a man, or you're dealing with somebody that you might find attractive, that especially when women that have daughters, that you ask men certain questions. I would never tell on air those questions of what you say, to where you would be like, nah, I'm good. I'm not messing with him. Oh yeah, that story was right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would give those, ask men those questions, especially if you're gonna be, in a private setting with them. Yeah.
I'm sorry to be turning my head. I'm just looking at the questions coming in and stuff.
Yeah, there's a question.
We have some people telling me that they're.
Joe, he asked, was there?
Does she host every show that she's on?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I'm just joking.
No, he's asking
I'm just
us.
joking. So no, I know that. So one of the things I was gonna say is, I'm fucking loving this. I don't want to wear you guys out. Okay. So, and we have not gotten to the prison shit yet.
Oh,
okay.
God.
Right?
Yep. Let's get on.
And I want to do that.
Okay.
Or I want us to talk about this for another 15, 20 minutes, and then come back and do a second one where we talk about prison shit.
Okay. Either or.
Either or.
Ask us some prison stuff now.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it. And so. Let's talk Joe Bremer's question.
What your viewers they want.
Of course.
Ask us questions later.
Joe Bremer asks, is there female on female prison rape, like make use for intimidating purposes? I don't know why I had to elaborate on that, Joe, but let's just say, is there female on female prison rape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can be, but I haven't seen none when I was in the prison. I
didn't see it. I heard it, and they went to jail.
Okay.
Okay, and it was pitiful, and I'm gonna tell you why. It was a young girl. And I can't even say her name because she might be home now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But she was young. She was 18. And she was in there for killing her husband. She was only in the federal because she did it on the army base, because he was a part of the army, right? So that's why she came to federal prison. So she's 18. She's angry. She told me she didn't like girls before she came, but she liked girls now. She started messing with...
Okay, so she told you she was not attracted to women before she came.
Yeah.
But then how long into her stretch?
About 2 months.
Okay,
immediately.
That was a quick turn.
She said, hey, I'm going to be here 25 years. So I'm going to get it,
Might as well fucking, when in Rome. Yeah.
So she started messing with these older women. She immediately got with these older women, and they were gay. And they told her, don't play around. She didn't know she didn't know anything about being with a female, right? Yeah. And so I told her to go with the church people, right? Get into your spirituality.
Better results there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
But she was playing. She was hearing about, well, they said that they had somebody, she come and ask me all the time, right? Because I was the one that cleaned the showers at nighttime, right? They said a lot of stuff would happen in the showers.
Yes, everyone who watches prison shows know that.
Right, everything happens in the shower. I was the shower cleaner, but what she
when you got that job was like, no, I don't want the rape fucking job.
I didn't understand it.
Okay.
I didn't know it. I was blessed that I had a roommate when I first got there. I had a roommate that was 4 years in. She taught me and told me how it went. So I was blessed.
And she was cool to you right away. Yeah,
she's still
power games.
I didn't want to tag her on here because but she'll see it later. But yeah, she showed me the ropes, right?
Yeah.
So
which that's luck of the draw, right?
Right.
You could have had someone who's a fucking monster changes the trajectory of your life.
Right. And while I was seeing all the women messing around, it wasn't like it's not like it's open. You ain't in the open messing around, hugging on no.
It's not like
kissing on
have
no
you
girl.
seen
No,
Orange?
That's fake.
Orange is the new black.
It's not open.
No, and if you get caught, you're going to jail. In jail, you're going to the shoe.
To the shoe,
definitely.
Name your podcast, Meet the Shoe.
Yeah, that's right. You're going to the shoe.
Yeah,
and they will ship you. They will separate you.
Send you to another place.
Send you to another.
This motherfucker's enjoying this too much.
Yes.
Move them out of here.
Exactly.
Right.
So she got with the wrong group of women. They were older women, way older, probably old enough to be her mom.
Yeah.
She was acting like she was with the program with women. She didn't want to. And so they raped her. And they took her. They used her as an example. They waited until the shower was closed. When I clean the shower at night, I just, locked down the shower part. You can't take showers after 11, right? Because that's when
was it just terrifying to even be in there? Like, I mean, after you knew about it.
Yeah.
Because it'd be like if someone else walks in the space, you're holding your mop like this is a weapon, right?
Yes, and she said that they put some type of, cleaning gloves, right? They were cleaning gloves. They put the cleaning gloves around an object. She said it wasn't long like a mop, and she said they were just, inserting it in her, and that they tried to,
this is so bad.
They tried to turn her over, but she fought. And they didn't, but they did that to her. What does turn her over mean? Oh, to put it in her ass. Yeah, and she wouldn't tell who did it. She didn't tell who did it, right? But she told the unit who did it, but she didn't tell the officers who did it. They put her in the shoe too.
When you say told the unit, you mean your fellow inmates?
Yeah, the compound. She told the compound. That's everybody in the quarters. But come to find out, they had been doing that to young girls that were acting but they were not.
Who were flirting, who were coming up close to the edge.
Yeah, and they were asking so many questions and were acting like they wanted to do it, but they didn't want to. And so at that time, when she was constantly asking me, she was asking me because I was the one that cleaned the showers, right? So she wanted to know, must have been for them, when I was going to be done with my job. You know what I'm saying? So they could do whatever. So I don't know where it went bad at, but she said.
So she was asking you when you're done because so in your mind you thought she was doing it to do a consensual thing at that point, right? Like kind of going, hey,
yeah, because I was telling her
when you clear out of here.
I wasn't giving her inaccuracy because I didn't want her to do any of that stuff. Right?
Yeah,
I thought she was doing it because she wanted to, right? But she didn't. They end up taking it from her, and they end up making her. And she told, and when she got out the shoe, they shipped them. But she said that they had been doing it. She's got the name in different people. And when you ask the young girls, guess what? They would say, I don't want to talk about. No, like they were scared.
Of course
like
not.
They didn't want to, they were scared.
Of course not.
So, yeah.
Of course not. Those people would be terrifying, right? And I can also see being, if you're a people pleaser type, right? Where it's like, I'm terrified here. I want to be all things to all people, right? Like when I'm with the gay chicks, I'm going to fucking be gayish. And then with the religious people, I'm going to sit and read texts with them and all that. I can understand how you get in that spot, and then you get to the shower, and then it's late, and your friend told you when it's clear, but then it's not sexy and it's not respectful, and then all of a sudden it's like, I want out of here,
right?
And you can't get out of there, right?
Can't get out of there,
and
they make you,
right?
And they make you. So then, what are you doing? Like, it's like then her guilt sets in. Like, I shouldn't have went there anyway, and I should. Which is
how that shit works. You know, how that shit works, right?
I said I was gonna. I said that, you know. I said okay, and then they made me. You know. So it's like, what were you doing? You know.
Right.
You know. Then she's second guessing herself, and everybody kept telling her like, no, you didn't do nothing wrong. If you said no, and you didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
You didn't know what was going on. You said no. They were supposed to. They older than you. They should have listened to you, right?
They're supposed to be human beings, right? Right.
Yeah. She never. But I don't know what ended up happening. So I'm assuming she's home now. But at that time, she wanted to stay. They asked her, did she want to get shipped? She's like, no, I can't. My mom, my sister, everybody's here, and no, I can't. You know, I have 25 years. So they shipped the other women, but they kept her. So that was.
Did that break her? Like, I mean, you know, in prison after that, or I mean, was she all right?
They told her though, if they ever seen her, like, you there's no touching, no hugging. You ain't no friendly hugging in the women's prison.
No.
Oh no.
Oh man, I would think
touch her like I can't tap her like that.
Like no, none of that stuff. Like
is it hard for you to get past that? So you guys are lifelong friends. Mm-hmm. Is it weird for you to hug because you went through this period of a long time where it's like you're not?
When we first got home, it's like.
Yeah, you scared to, you know, hug each other. Cause I've seen a lot of women coming in prison. I'd be like, oh my God, hey.
Right.
Yeah.
Hug, you know, it's like, no.
So there was a point in my life, being a junkie for a long time or whatever, and I lived on the West Coast, all my family, friends, everyone's back here in the Midwest. And there was a point I was writing and stuff a lot because I thought I was being a real artist and all this shit. But there was a point when I realized that I had not even hugged like another person for 6 months. Nor got pussy, which is also sad. but the hug part, like, you know, to have a real connection with someone, right? And I started crying in I'm not this way. Like, I'm not that I can't now. I have children, so I could cry at any moment, at any time, right? But at that point, not at all.
Because you had this hard shell. That you were dealing with.
But you realize that it's like, I don't even fucking hug anyone. Like, I don't. And so you guys were in prison for a long stretch. That I mean, I know personally that takes a huge toll on your soul to not have real human connection, to not have tenderness, like being tough all the time.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have to be tough. Like, you know, I was just doing some like, you actually sort of have to be tough in your environment, right? Otherwise, you're going to get played.
It's this. Your family don't understand.
No.
Your family, especially your kids, they really are like, you're mean, you're aggressive,
right?
You're too harsh. You shouldn't be saying that. They're right.
Right.
I didn't know that, though, until, like, at first, I used to couldn't tell this story without crying, right? I used to couldn't tell this story to you without crying, but now I understand. I'm just blessed that it's been some time since I've done time. Mm-hmm. But when I first came home, my first 2 years, my kids probably thought I was like just the devil, you know, because every time I talk, I'm yelling. Every single time I'm expressing something to them, I'm screaming at them at the top of my lungs. Not if you don't get your ass, you know, like all of that's like, what is all of that? Where did that come from? And I had my second year, right, of me being home. It started going away. Then by the time it was 4 years that I was home, it was, I'm not going to say gone, but it was a little more lighter to where they didn't offend me, but I probably was still offending them.
Right.
What they were saying to me didn't hurt me no more. Right. Because
hold on. Who's they?
My kids.
Okay.
Because you go through
when they'd comment on like, Jesus, Mom, you're a fucking bitch.
Yes,
right.
Yes,
There's a point where you go like, yeah, I kind of am.
That's where it started being where I started paying attention to. I had a friend that told me like, your daughter is not, she's 18, she's 19. You can't be talking to her like that. And I ain't gonna lie, I was like, turn up to my friend, like, you can't, what? Like,
the fuck are you talking to me for, motherfucker? Right.
And I thought, and it's like, it's my daughter's godmom. She told me that. And when she told me, she don't even realize how much she helped me. Because your friends are looking at you like, I'm laughing because they're looking at you like, is she crazy?
Right. This bitch is fucking crazy. Right. She is dangerous.
Yeah. What was going on with her in that prison? Yeah. Was she gay in there? What was she doing? Messing with girls? What's wrong with her? Did she sleep with a guard? I mean, all those things.
That was my next question. So, like, I mean,
never slept with a guard.
No. Never, ever?
No.
Because
never slept with a woman.
Because
ever.
Never even kissed.
No. Not a chat. You got
Shade, not even you.
Look. No, I don't like my own stank. So right.
No.
It's like when I went.
You're so funny.
But when I went in prison, I was just in.
She says quiet all the time, and then she's really funny when she says shit. Yeah.
I was in the mind frame. I mean, hey, I'm gonna be here by myself. I don't like my own sex.
How does masturbation work? Like in prison, then.
I tried it one time.
I tried
it.
What? All right, get the fuck out of the studio.
They tell you how to.
If you guys are gonna lie about this shit, get out of the studio.
No, they used to have the massage.
Just once?
You take the shower head and the massage, and I tried it.
I'm aware.
I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, it worked, but it wasn't
and then
that.
It frustrates you.
Yeah, and I'm like,
oh my god,
it wasn't all that.
You need that dick.
Yeah,
you need it.
No, and then you know what would? Well, for me, what would satisfy me?
Hang on. Let me get a piece of paper.
2:00 in the morning. No, they had uncut.
Oh yes,
oh my god,
stuff like that. Yeah.
Nelly.
So you watch the D'Angelo video?
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
what was your main video that got you?
Nelly.
Nelly
swiped the card down the girl's butt cheeks.
Huh?
You see that video?
I know Nelly. I know the videos. I'm trying to think of that one.
He licked her butt.
Oh, he licked her butt?
He licked her butt. So
Nelly. So like, there's women in prisons all over. When Nelly licks that butt, they go, "Ooh!" Like you just hear it. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure they did back then. I'm sure they did because you got to think, especially straight women, you didn't have anything else to turn to, and then if you masturbate, it's stupid to me because
why?
Because it's frustrating. What you gonna do?
Not to me. It's not frustrating. I come every time. I don't know what.
But that's because you're male, right?
Yeah.
So you want.
You goddamn right, baby.
For women is emotion, affection.
Yeah.
And like you said, we're already our mind is programmed. We have not hugged our kids.
Yeah.
We have not hugged our mom. We have not somebody, a dude, a husband, a boyfriend, or just a pen pal. No one's come and squeezed your butt, grabbed your tits, none of that.
Or licked your ass.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Exactly. Only Nelly in your brain. Yeah.
So it's better for the imagination versus you actually getting the feel.
Was it hard to start fucking again afterward? Then, like, I mean, did it hurt?
Of course,
it did.
Of course.
I mean,
I'm actually surprised by that. Like, I mean, that it hurt. Like, I asked that for a reason.
Hard to get into. I mean, when you first get home, you be like scared. Like,
that's what I mean. Is it scary? Is it? You know what I mean?
Like, should I be doing this? You know,
right?
Yeah, it's like a nervous feeling.
Yeah,
it's nervous, and you don't. I'm not gonna say the first time it's not enjoyable. No.
Really?
Because
it was 10 years. Get a hymen again.
Yeah.
It's so long.
It's
God, I bet it turned on that. I bet for that guy.
Even dudes when they first, I've heard them say when they first do it the first time, it's not. I don't know. Maybe if they jack off a bunch before,
they do,
and they go into it, then they might land a good time, right? But I think that when if they haven't,
I still struggle with that to this day. So like, let alone prison.
If they have not, they probably would have to wait until like the third time. Like the third time in, it'll be, it was all. It was.
I've had to jack off before I go to the hardware store. Like I mean, for real. Like where
and that's usually how it is for guys. They keep on. They say that they masturbate a lot. I don't know. I'm not a guy, but
did you ever did you ever? So, in different environments in my life, you fantasize about different things. When I'm in college, I'm fantasizing about all the women who are around me in college, right? Like, when I'm a junkie, I'm fantasizing about the drug dealer's girlfriend or like whatever.
Right, whatever
it's just what you're thinking.
Yeah,
So you guys are in prison for 10 years. I'm not like suggesting that you masturbate to other women and stuff, but do you start picking out guards?
Oh, yeah.
Do you start picking out dude like yeah. Like I mean, is that just what you do?
I just looked at all the time like, oh.
Yeah. You think like that when you're in that, whatever in front of your eyes, right? And there was a guard that actually was trying to talk to me, but I had to go to another prison. And I didn't get a chance. He held me up at not held me like that, but
frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
He had me come into the office, and he had just started working, and he was like, "Man, how long you been here?" Just asking me how long I've been there, how much time I had left. He had just started working there. Where had I been? Because he had never seen me. He actually had the older woman that worked in the kitchen. They were real cool. He had her to have me come to the office to talk to him. She stayed in there with us. We all in there talking. Because I guess he probably felt more comfortable like it's two women in here. And the shade
no, for sure. For sure.
It was the way that camp was. You could close the shade, open the shade. He had closed the shade, but he was like, we was in there for like 2 hours talking because he was telling us about his.
Did you feel like I'm about to get fucked here? I
was so nervous that I just stayed against the door. Like the attraction was really, really heavy.
Obviously.
And he kept staring at me. I'm staring at him. We ain't even looking at the older lady that's in there with us, but we're all in a conversation, but he's constantly addressing me. And then he was like, man, okay, well, I'm going to see you because he's seen you. Reason why he called.
She's getting horny just hearing the story. I can tell.
Because he said, he saw my
I can
picture.
feel her energy.
He saw my picture, right?
And I'm also, this is like a romance novel.
He saw my picture and he was like, I got to check you out because you're going, tomorrow you're going to be shipped out of here.
Oh, wow.
So that's what had him asking me all them questions. And he saw that old.
Do you think he was waiting for you to say like, hey, I'm going tomorrow.
This is why I know he wanted me because he was like, yeah, I'm going to have to come on up there to Minnesota and see. He was like, what prison you going to? I was like, Greenville. He was like, I wonder if I got any runs to come up there. I said, you will get in trouble. He's actually saying like he would come with the job up there. And I'm like, and he's like, I said, wouldn't you get in trouble though if they be like, why do you want to go to Greenville Institution? You're from Texas. Why you're way down here? And he was like, no, they don't ask questions like that. It's just like, you want to learn the job. You trying to get the job.
He said you want to learn the job.
And he never, he sent a message.
I mean, I think part of the job is fucking Daneana.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He sent a message, but he never came up there. I was like, and I said it. I was telling my friends up there. I was like, "Girl, he got something from somebody down there."
Yeah, he found someone new
down there. He was eager.
Is that weird to get jealous? Like in prison, and I'm sure you get jealous all the time, right?
There was a couple that I know that they got married and had kids. He was an officer. And she was from Wisconsin. He was from St. Louis. He was an officer, and they got married and they had kids, and they live in Wisconsin now.
What was your view?
She got pregnant in the system.
No shit.
Yeah, right. You see that a lot.
What's your that's amazing. Like I mean that you see that a lot, right?
I mean you do. You see it. I've even heard stories of where the husband and wife work at the prison.
Yeah.
The wife is sleeping with one of the inmates.
Female inmates.
No.
Male inmates.
Yeah.
Okay.
The husband and wife work at a male institution.
Okay.
And the female officer was having sex with one of the inmates.
Was there ever a male officer who's like, he's fucking 9 bitches in this place?
Yeah.
I mean, a pretty, like he's pretty. He's like,
and exactly that. There was this tall man, they said he wasn't attractive to me, but he was really tall. He was mixed, and he had nice, good charcoal black hair. You know, he looked good, and he was knocking. He was knocking everybody. He was knocking a lot of women down, and it got so bad. He was a lieutenant though, and it got so bad. So where they walked him off.
Oh wow!
It's like the police come in and get you and send your ass.
Where would he? So, does it ever get out of hand? Where like he's coming in the cell and fucking him in the cell?
He would never go. He was smart. He was a lieutenant. He's not gonna come in the cell.
Right.
He had them come to his office.
Oh wow.
One girl, he had her bent over, right, and he had the shade open to where he could see down the hall.
He's an exhibitionist.
If somebody would come, right?
He's showing off.
This girl said that she saw them because he's so tall.
Yeah.
And the girl bent over. Like, why is the girl bent over in front of you? He's so tall, and he was doing it to her, and the inmate was coming down the hallway, and he didn't stop. He did not pull out of her until the inmate got to where he could detect, like, the camera would switch. I guess, back then this old camera switch over to the inmate. It was on the lieutenant's door, but then the camera would switch over to, and he told her when as the girl was coming towards him, she said she didn't stop coming because somebody was fighting, so she needed him. He pulled out. He was good. She was the one that had to adjust herself before she walked in front of that camera. He told her, "Don't fuck up." He just said that the other inmate said that she kept hearing him say, "Don't fuck up" to the one that was there. So she had to adjust
to the girl he's fucking. Yes. So he's fucking her, saying, "Don't fuck up."
Yeah, because
don't
she
fuck
had
up.
to adjust
what does that mean?
herself. No, she said because she had to adjust her clothes to walk back in front of that camera.
Got you.
The camera was on the door of the lieutenant. We couldn't see that he had the shades closed. I mean, he had to explain why the shades was closed with an inmate in there later.
Right.
But the shades was closed, and he told the one that was in there, like, don't fuck up. So when she walked out, she looked just like she looked when she walked in.
The girls who are fucking a lot in prison. No, hold on. First, you had a story, Shade. Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine, she had a relationship with a guard. And it was like 6 months.
Wow.
And I think it
is that a long time in prison time?
Well, yeah, and it was going on outside when she left the prison. It was going on, and he got so possessive over her.
Did he have her a bag and stuff ready when she got out?
I'm not sure, but he was getting really
what does that mean?
Her
bag.
Shoot, your whole starter kit when you get out.
Right.
Got you. Is that a thing? Like I mean, you meet a guy who. Okay. Are there
all the tricks that take care of the girls? That's all the pen pals. They look for the rich men, right?
Yeah.
Mostly millionaire, billionaire, lonely.
Oh yeah.
They don't mind talking to a girl that's.
Are you saying I can write women in jail and get some pussy?
Oh, man,
okay. Back when we were locked
that's
up
still
or whatever,
the thing. That's still the thing.
Women meet men. It's just.
Do they have their pictures online?
Oh, and online.
Backpage, just like Backpage.
Is it really?
What's the thing that's going on now?
Hold on. There's a website where you can look at their pictures.
Plenty or something like that. They did it back then. They just send their picture.
Yeah.
To them.
They have somebody outside.
I'll never be lonely again. Yeah. Thank you, darling.
And they think they're outside and they hook up with older men. And hey, it's going on.
And the millionaire billionaires, they send all their money. They don't even have to meet millionaire billionaires. They send all their money up in there. Women too.
Yeah.
It's probably worse for women that they send their money to the men's prison and go and see the man in jail because they're telling them some beautiful lies.
No doubt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How much, are you aware? I'm sorry. Do you finish telling that story? No. I'm getting drunk.
No, you said she was possessive. He was.
He started getting possessive.
So
how did that end?
How did she cut it off? But she ended up cutting it off. She said it was hard cutting it off for him.
Why she still liked him?
After she liked him, but certain things he was doing that's really freaky and crazy.
Oh, okay.
She said
he wasn't. Like, his mind wasn't.
His mind, I think she.
Well, because you're starting you're violating, right? To do that shit. So it's sort of a depraved act just to start with, right? I mean, do you see any?
And he was married.
Oh, okay. Well, that's super fucked then, right? I mean, so my next question was going to be: are there any real romances in prison as far as you can tell? Like, because I can see a bunch of people going like, you know, we're all in this moment together. It's fucked up. You know, look, my wife's a bitch. Yeah, whatever, we can fuck when we're here, and it's fun, it's romantic, we play along. But the second you get out, like, you know, I don't want that. Like, I mean, you know, how do you guys see that?
I don't see only real romance I ever heard of was the one I saw where the guard was messing with the girl, and she got pregnant, and they got 2 kids, and they married, and they live, and he moved from St.
He stuck
Louis
with it, and it stayed like,
So he really liked her.
And I definitely believe that shit's possible. I'm not, you know, a maniac like that. I'm just trying to. I just think
it always depends on how serious of a liar who's the best liar,
right?
Because you're both lying and playing a game. You're finessing, exactly. You're both playing a game on who's gonna win at this first. Am I gonna get that bag from out of him when I get out of here? Right? Because that's what the woman is trying to do, and then the guy is
trying to get his.
And that's for people. That's for the men that's on the outside, right? But then the people on the inside is, I just want to bust a nut. It's all about that. It's still a game. I just want some.
For the women who fuck guards, do they walk away from those experiences like, you know, like, I'm the queen bitch in this fucking place, you're a fucking hoe, you're a piece of shit, I fuck the guards? Or do they view it, or like, is it shameful? Like, you know, you're fucking a pig.
There's not too many that are shameful.
No.
Really?
No, they're not too much shameful because they got off what they wanted to get off. You know, that's what their ultimate goal is, to get off. Yeah. So they don't care.
And they probably not going to tell you
catching
either.
feelings. Yeah, and they're not going to tell you. And they're catching feelings.
Yeah.
They're watching every single thing that he does,
so
right?
that's the jealousy, and the jealousy come in.
Yes.
So this is so fucking awesome, by the way. I just love this conversation. I'm so sorry that I do, but I do. This is just so fascinating to me. Like, how do you feel sexy in jail? Because, like any woman, you know, like, I'm a man. I want to feel sexy from time to time.
Right.
Doesn't happen often, but, you know, every once in a while.
The women, when they started giving us the lipstick, you know,
you make your lipstick. You make your eyeliner lipstick with lips. Crayon.
Yeah, that's right. You guys said, okay, you make it out of crayons.
Or some prisons give you lip gloss, not lipstick.
Vaseline.
And they might
let not quite as sexy
they might let
as
you
lipstick,
get,
right?
They might let you get a lipstick, but it's usually a lipstick that you've had forever, ever and ever.
Yeah,
you know, you only use it for visiting. So yeah, it's hard to get sexy in prison.
Do you guys ever do I mean, do you adjust your uniform? Do you zip it so the cleavage is out or all like that?
No cleavage out. No, sir.
Not in states, but in feds or not?
You gotta have that button stuck all the way up here.
Okay. Well, drop a titty out the bottom.
Yeah, you could.
If it's hanging low.
You could, right. You could be.
You guys are too young to know what that's like. Yeah.
You could be slick and tie up your shirt.
Or like pull it tight so you see a little fucking camel toe or something like that, whatever.
That wear tight pants and stuff, but
they will stop you from wearing tight pants where I was at. They'll be like, "Oh, those pants are too small."
They'll stop you and go, "I can see your pussy lips." Turn around, go change.
No, they're not gonna say that.
They can see your butt is too small for you.
Yeah.
Your butt's too small?
I mean, your butt's big, but your pants is too small.
Pants is too small, yes.
Your butt's big.
They will.
Right.
Up a bigger size. Yeah.
Right.
They will do that.
Yeah.
Did either of you have a nightmare CO or whatever who was a fucking sadistic motherfucker who like terrorized you?
You couldn't have your nails long. Like, this is too long.
Yeah.
This right here.
Yeah, sorry. Do you mind putting them up? So these are like graduated men's nails almost. You know, like, I mean, that's not.
So he would just look at you, tell you put your hands out.
Was it a white guy with a mustache?
Yeah, it was a white guy.
With a mustache?
A thick one.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
And
white guys with mustaches, you better run the other fucking way.
Insecure?
they're hiding behind something. I don't know. I don't trust those motherfuckers one bit.
You're stuck in your room.
Yep.
Depending on how many LOPs you have,
Come here.
you're stuck in your room.
And that's how they do it.
Stop.
And that's that.
Come here. Let me see that hand.
Let me see your nails.
Yes.
Put your hands out.
Come here, bitch. Let me see that. Yeah.
Make you feel like a little kid.
Yeah.
And they basically they call you names, right? But they try to do it like under their tongue.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Come here.
Just like that. Yep.
Come here, you goddamn bitch.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yep.
That's fucking crazy. That is fucking crazy.
And it's usually when you try to just stay off their radar. Though.
Yeah.
You know,
they already know.
You really dodge them. You know, you see them coming, you go in your room, but ball up under a blanket, like it's like your little kid, like you hide. You know, and they don't usually. Now, I very seldom see a guard come in somebody's room and just tap, you know, bother. But if you're out in the open and you're doing something and they just want to mess with you, or they gonna get you, or they just wait, or they'll say stuff, oh, where's Omer? Oh, where's she at? Oh, she's not in here crocheting today. She's not in here hustling, making money. That's what they say to me. Hustling, making money.
Were you making money in prison?
Oh my God, yeah.
Were both of you?
I did hair for money.
Big
time.
How much money did you make in prison?
Oh my God, how much didn't I make?
A lot.
I want to know how much you made.
Crochet blankets, slippers, outfits, hats, scarves, every single thing.
Making jewelry.
Oh, making jewelry, yes, everything. I made.
And I just did hair in there, so
I wasn't no hungry. I wasn't never hungry or thirsty.
I got to bring my daughter in. You get some money or whatever. Get a hairstyle. So what? I mean, would you make $1,000 a month?
Oh no,
not that high.
Yeah.
No,
like, because I know in prison
about 500.
I know in prison 500 is 5,000.
Yeah.
Right? Like I mean, it's a crazy.
And
whatever.
I started this, but see, I started getting smart at the end, but it didn't work. I just had to collect up all this stuff. I never was hungry. I always had lockers in other people's locker. My locker full.
Did you put people in the box? Is that like? I mean, is that a thing in female prison? What? In the box? Like, I mean, that you get their box?
Oh, yep. Yeah. Like their space where we could put store our stuff. Yeah.
You say like, exactly. No, your box is now mine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
did you do that to other like inmates? Like, I mean, new inmates who come in,
like especially the ones that don't really have nothing. So
the ones that don't got the money, they love you.
Yeah.
They love you. Because you tell them I can eat what you eat. Well, then they come to ask you what you eating tonight. Yeah. What can I eat?
Can I cook for
and
you
I
or
say,
something like that?
Yeah, and I'll say you just this side yours, that side mine. You know what I'm saying? And
just
because them holding, they don't have to do nothing. You just collect and feed me, feed you, feed me, feed you. I had plenty food. Man, I had probably for real, no exaggeration, about 10 people. Me having food in there. And items, other jogging suit, extra jogging suits, and extra gym shoes, and you know, I didn't leave there with none of that stuff. Yeah. I let them have all that stuff. That's like a taboo. Yeah. Don't you take nothing about the. But you know what? No, I took my crochet stuff.
Did you?
I still got yarn.
Expensive. You know
what? I still got yarn. Girl, I still got yarn.
I need to give you my yarn.
Yes. What you think I have?
Yes.
Knit it all?
I got a big thing at my house right now, full of beads, beautiful beads. Beautiful. Man, I got so much crochet and knit yarn, needles, everything. Like that was my thing, though.
Yeah.
What's the most violent incident you ever saw in prison?
I seen.
Sorry, I'm going dark.
I seen someone get stabbed up on the elevator.
Get killed?
My first day. No, they didn't get killed, but they got stabbed up.
And you were like a 19-year-old girl?
No,
or something like that?
22.
22. Okay. Oh, okay. This is the one that you talked to me about a little bit. Yeah. So you were 22. You did Feds time. Yeah. So you got sent way
down to Texas.
Texas.
Yeah, down to Texas.
So you go to prison the first time, and it's like
very first day.
Your defense is fucking immediately way up. Like,
yes.
So what's your first day in female prison like? Like. You know, is it the same thing as the movie for men where it's like, hey, new fish, hey, I'm going to have that ass tonight. Any of that, intimidation shit?
No. That's just for the men. But for women,
men are the fucking worst, and it's not even.
What you do? What's your case? You know, nosy,
being nosy. Yeah.
This is what I've learned in my life, and I learned this from buying drugs in Los Angeles. If anyone ever runs up on you asking where you're from, you're in a bad fucking situation right there. Like truly, what the fuck do you care where I'm from?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. They just ask, you know, where you from, what you do. But they were saying what happened because they seen me walk. I was right there when the incident happened. So everybody bombarded me when I.
Can you take us through that? Like take us through that situation.
So I'm walking and I'm coming from the unit over into the into the medical part of the it's like where
you eat and
where you eat at is where the girls where the gym is, where the people that has health issues are there, and it's the child hall in this building, right? But I'm in the new building. That's where I live, is in the new building that just was built, right? So that's just a regular facility, right? So I go from there over into the child, and as I'm coming in and I come around by the elevator, there's a girl getting stabbed up on the elevator and blood's all over the place.
Did you see it develop? Like I mean, you know, where the women walked up going like, hey, what the fuck you fucking bitch or whatever?
They went together or messed around or did something. You know, they were messing around.
A lovers thing, you mean?
Yes. And
that's more than a quarrel.
Yes. She's selling her bitch, whatever, right. And she has like not a knife, it's some type of sharp object,
just like a shiv or whatever, you know, whatever. A toothbrush that's shaved.
Starts, you know, chopping at her. And I'm like, ooh.
Hit her in the face and shit?
Yeah, I don't know where she actually hit her at, but I see the blood splatter. And I'm like, nervous.
What did you do? So I mean, so you're standing in the elevator or where?
No, I'm coming right there, right when it happens. Like, right there. So I'm coming down the hall to go to the child. Yeah. Right? The elevator's like right there to my left, and she's doing that.
Oh my God.
And I see the splash.
And that sound, right? Like the sound.
And I'm hearing her scream, the other girl scream, but I'm also seeing people coming from the child and running. The officers and all of that. So it's like a stop, wait, and I'm like, me and this other girl's like, wait a minute, okay, what? And they're like, what did you see? They're like trying to talk. Then the people in the child was asking, well, I'm like, I ain't see nothing. Like, what? I'm not
right.
What, I didn't see.
I'm not involving myself in this shit. No, fuck. Are you crazy? I'm new here.
I'm new.
Right? Like this bitch might run this fucking whole spot.
Exactly.
And now you want me to snitch? Like, fuck you. Right.
That was real bad. And when that happened, I was like, I went back to the unit after, you know, all the commotion and everything, got my food. I didn't even have an appetite. They was like, oh, girl, today isn't the day to eat. Don't eat that. You can eat off the commissary. I had plenty of money on my books. So I was like, okay, commissary, that means I could go buy food. I'm like, okay, what's our day to shop? I start asking, what's our day to shop? They told me. Then when I got back to the unit, my roommate told me.
What does day to shop mean? So, like, you get to go to the commissary, like, what, twice a week or something like that?
Once a week.
Oh, really? Just once a week?
Just once a week. You better get all what you're going to get next week. Yeah.
So if people send you money and it's late for your day of the week, it's just like, oh, fuck. Right.
But you can tell the person that shop on their day to shop.
For you.
Buy this for me. And then I got you back on.
Can you buy that video of Nelly licking my ass for me for $10? I'd really like a copy of that.
Exactly.
I don't think I saw a lot of fights. Nothing too gruesome. No, I see a little blood here. It wasn't that bad.
Women fighting, though, just in general, like, I'm sorry. We talk a lot of shit about men. Watching women fight is 10 times worse. Yeah, they're so fucking vicious.
Yeah,
I remember in 8th grade, Cheryl Norcross fucking had a big native girl, and she fucking like threw her fucking fingernails and ripped out this girl's like it was like I thought we were fighting in junior high, and she amps it up fucking 10 levels, you know, where it's just like, oh my God.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's how I think of prison, as like it's high school, but with 10 times higher stakes.
Right.
Like it's like, you know, oh, instead of being a bitch, I'll be a bitch and I'll stick a fucking pencil in your side. Right? Like it's just so much worse. Like,
I have seen one lady, she killed herself. She didn't wake up the next morning, so she took a lot of pills.
Whoa.
And she killed herself. But she was in there for killing her daughter, in which she was doing a suicide attempt as well, but she ended up waking up in the hospital. They gave her, 20-something years, and I think she wasn't in the facility, a month. And she killed herself.
So, you know how men in prison have the whole, like, pedo hunter shit, right? Like, I mean, if you're a rapist, if you're a chomo, like, you're fucking going down.
Yeah.
How does that, like, what's the thing in women's prison that is, like, the stigma shit? Or that it's like...
the same thing, child killer, somebody killed
child killer's gotta be, like...
that is really...
I mean,
people
like,
get
truly.
mad and shunned up and talk mess to them. I mean, I remember one lady said she kind of killed her baby and fed the baby to the husband.
Oh, yeah.
Fed the baby to the husband?
Oh, yeah. That happened in early 98.
If I had a gun, I'd fucking shoot myself in the head right now. Are you serious? Like for real, where he's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you hear gruesome stuff like that.
Like, sure, my wife can be a bitch every once in a while, but she doesn't feed me my children.
So that's the thing that's kind of funny with Minnesota prison. Everybody's clumped together in that one facility. Minimum security, medium, and high security. So it's like we're right next to somebody that murdered somebody that killed a child, and all the nonviolent criminal, crimes together.
How does that work? Like, I mean, in terms of, like, so it sounds like obviously Daneana did well in prison. She had at least like 10 boxes, up in that bitch.
Right. I did.
How did you work? Like, I mean, I don't know. Is it natural for both of you to sort of run people, to sort of like, I don't know, I
think it's because you're like a leader anyway.
Yeah.
And any aspect of life that you're in, you're gonna have that leadership kind of.
How long? So how long does it take you though to step into that role?
No, because it doesn't take no time at all.
Really? I mean, because I would think you'd go to a new prison and like you kind of go like, I'm gonna ride low here for for a good fucking 3 months or 4 months or something like that before I'm gonna.
Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the day I got sentenced. It's like, I might as well pull my bootstraps up and be a big girl and do what I gotta do. You know what I'm saying? I gotta do the time, so I might as well do it comfortably.
Right.
So Daneana feels like she could be a mean ass bitch.
I do.
Right?
I do.
Yeah.
You don't feel like you have that bone. Like, I know you've been there. I know you can do it. I know you have. But you have a more gentle spirit to me.
Right.
You're more like me.
Yeah, but
is what I'd say.
You piss me off. It's going to the next level.
Daneana, have you ever seen her lose it?
Yeah. Oh, look how long I've known her.
I mean, quiet people are like always the worst when they
turn up.
Yeah.
I've seen her when she was younger. When she's older, she's more softer.
Yeah.
Like, she's not gonna confrontation.
And I think you're both really nice now,
she services the community.
Right.
She's a beautician, so she doesn't want to be turning up.
No, of course.
People for her reputation, but
I'm
if she has to be, she probably is like, I'm about to and go and snap and be like, and I pray nobody don't got no camera.
Right, because I will hit somebody.
Because if they have a camera that's filming me acting up and being out of my character, right?
Yeah.
Now we're more conscious of somebody, seeing us act stupid because they film everything now, right?
Everything is filmed.
But you still lose your lid now.
It's also just not right. And it's also just not worth it, right? Like I mean. What are the odds of either of you going back to prison?
No.
Like I mean, just fucking almost no chance. Like, I mean, what's the most you've had to pull yourself back from the edge at this point? Like, just fucking like arguing with some bitch in Target or like whatever it is, right? To where you go like, all right, I gotta fucking, I gotta swallow my shit because this is not gonna be a good.
I have had to swallow because as an instance where my daughter was hit by another guy and I snapped.
Hit by a guy?
A little boy.
Yep.
Slapped her.
No.
And she come home. And
I respect that you were able to fucking pull that back.
I didn't, but in the middle of it, I thought about it.
I mean, so my kids are not at that age yet,
right?
but like we've been at the playground. I mean, they're 2 and 4 at this time, and another like a 5-year-old kid is like pushing my 2-year-old, like didn't even push him down, just like pushed him away, kind of. And I mean, like the boil, like that comes at like I'm gonna fight a fucking 4-year, like a 5-year-old kid right now. Like
I will fight a bear over my kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when she came home, she said, "Mom, please." I said, "Let's go."
Yeah.
We rolling out.
Right.
What's the thing? So in prison, in your come up, like I mean, as you're kind of getting your footing in prison, all of a sudden you look around, and go like, God, I got a couple lieutenants, I got a couple fucking people around me. What's the thing that you did that sort of flexed? Like what's your biggest flex in prison? Or even as a drug dealer, like even. Is there ever a moment where you sat back and did a I'm a fucking evil? I mean, where like wow, like I might be an evil bitch in this fucking scenario.
I didn't necessarily do it in.
You don't want to tell that one?
I didn't necessarily.
I knew that you'd have a better one.
They might be watching.
Right. I didn't necessarily.
I knew you did
this is in the past. Yeah.
Oh God.
I didn't necessarily do that in when I was locked up though. I wasn't like arrogant when I was locked up because
it could be death, right? I mean, like if you get to that point
in prison, your survival tactic is for everybody to like you and everybody to think mess with you, everybody to feel like they respect. So in prison, like she got respect because she done here and because of what she did before she got to prison.
Yeah.
Me, I was always somewhere where they didn't know me. Yeah. I'm in a whole nother foreign land.
Because you're in feds. So you're way out the fucking.
They learned to love me like immediately because I'm good with the crochet and the knit. That's my name.
I love that's currency.
That was currency. Like
it was?
That was like. That for real, that was really a lot of times better than drugs. Yeah, because drug game in there wasn't really
because crocheting's like emotional in a sense, right? Because like
intimate.
I mean, yeah.
Intimate.
It's like, an intimate. It's like a beautiful thing that you're.
That's nice.
Oh wow, that's
real talent.
Such over here can do them like this though, and they can do. It's not a competition thing.
Yeah.
So when they see that you got it, like she can make your kids some slippers. She can do. It's personal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She can make your kids some slippers. She can make your mom a blanket. She can put the name on it.
Right.
She can make the hats and the scarf with the name in it. It's that. It's the competition. So it's still, like I said, it's still all the game. I learned that game that first year here in Minnesota while I was being held, and then they shipped me off. So I learned how to crochet and learned how to knit, but I didn't learn the knit game until I met the Colombians in Texas. They showed me the Colombians did, and what I turned, and this is how I got in with them. How they loved me was because when they showed me, right, I twisted it all up. Right. I started making the sweaters with the back out. Oh, they Spanish. They like
the sexy stuff.
Sexy women.
Oh man, they was all over me. Oh, mommy, how you do that?
Mommy.
Oh my God.
I love Colombian women. Believe me, I'm watching Narcos every week for for that shit.
Me about that. Oh, mommy, show me something. I want to make my daughter. Oh, she's let me show you my daughter. So then you get the intimate. It's intimate because
I get it.
It's respect you, right? You showing them that you learned the game that they showed you and you done flipped it, right? And so they showing you their family. They want you making stuff for their family. They want to barter with you and trade, what they know how to do versus what you know how to do. Show me this, I'll show you that. Then they get intimate. They tell you all their business. Yeah. You're telling them all your business.
How long,
it's like a family, you building a family in there.
How long does it take? Well, actually, how about this? Because we should wrap up. Yeah. Okay. And then, what's your best day in prison for both of you?
Go.
My best day is when my kids was able to come spend the night in prison with me.
Oh, really? So, they could do that?
Yeah, and Shaka Pete, they had parenting units, so only, I think it was 40 women or so could be in there. So at a time you can have 12 women can have a visits. So your kid come and spend.
How old were your kids at this point?
8 and under can come. So they were like 6 and 7, 5, 6 and 7, maybe 8 years old. So they were coming. They get dropped off on Friday, one at a time, spend a night, and then the next one will come in Saturday, spend the whole day with me, and then they'll leave at 5 o'clock. So that was the best time I got to spend with my kids. And I wanted them. I could have a visit probably twice a month. So I made sure.
What would you do with them in that moment?
At that moment, we have movie time. We go out to eat together.
Go out to eat?
Not go out, but to the child. So
okay, to the child.
The parenting unit has a special time. You would go to the child and spend that time with your kids, or they would. At one point, they were coming eating in the unit. So, and we have different activities with them. So that was really precious to me, and I looked forward to that.
Were your kids aware of, of the situation that it's like mom's in prison, or do they just see it as like, that must have been so hard to like, hard. to
and they
explain
knew I was
that.
in jail, and they would say, "Mom, when you gonna get off punishment?" And I'm like, oh, God.
That's how they'd word it?
Yeah. And the kids are...
You're going to make me cry now. Like, for real. That is so fucking hard.
Like, my son was like...
Especially for shit you did when you're 18 and you're 20 or whatever.
30s or whatever. Yeah. And my kids are like, Mom, just give the people all that money back. Yeah. That's the main thing. Don't you have all that money? Just give them all that money back.
No. I'm sorry, son. We need to keep that shit. Right. Because I'm not working. I'm going to keep my mouth shut, son. Yeah.
Give it back. Oh, my God. It was,
I wish I had double the money so I could give them back that and keep the other shit. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, they got to visit, and that was the light of. Hey, that made my time go easy. Easy.
Really? So because I can also see that being deeply painful because that it's like how precious and how fucking. Oh my God! Like for real, I could cry right now thinking of this. I know. And then when they leave, it's got to be such a really it's got to be gutting.
It is because I remember
thinking of them.
Yeah, I remember taking my son to the door, and he's like, the security door where it's on the other side, it's free. He's open. He's like, Mom,
keep coming.
Come on.
I'm let's go.
I can't come. He's like, yes, you can. I got the door open. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh my God, Shade. Shut the fuck up. I can't, for real.
It was terrible. Yeah. It was terrible. But,
thank you for real. That's a really, that's got to be.
I'm glad that they have that program. I haven't checked up if they still have that program now, but it was really nice. They need to do it for more women. In fact, they need to even do it for some of the men that's in prison, like a minimum security.
Any woman who gets arrested before she's 25, should be in those I'm sorry. There's a big difference between a woman who goes down that road when she's 35 than when she and look, I still have empathy for the one who's 35, right?
Yeah.
But the one who's 25, where it's like you don't even know what the fuck you're doing at all. Even
when you're 30, you don't know.
I'm a fucking moron now. I'm 42. You know I can't even imagine that. Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. As someone who's made mistakes myself, and I'm just lucky. It's just a pure fucking luck.
Yeah.
That I haven't been arrested. That I didn't have to go through the whole jail, that situation. But yet, I've got to explain to my kids because of my comedy, because of my podcast, whatever. That I've been very open. Yeah. I've been very open about heroin addiction. Just bad shit I've done, And just recently, it's become aware to me that it's that they're going to be in school, and that you're going to have to, tell these things, and be honest, and or just, whatever. And it's like, God damn, it's hard to think that, and that my credibility when I'm telling them not to do drugs, because I know for a fact you should not do drugs.
Right.
It's a gigantic fucking mistake, right?
It is. Yep.
Right. And then even for you guys, how would you feel if you learned that your daughter or your son is selling drugs?
Horrible.
Even though you've done it, right? Like, I mean, you've done it. You, like, in a way, you can't say shit.
I tell my
But you have to
daughters-
say shit.
I tell, well, my middle daughter, she don't do, I mean, you know. And my oldest
I bet your
daughter
kids are like
was-
straight arrows.
Yeah, they are.
Big time straight arrows, right? Because
They
they've
don't-
learned
I
that
mean,
mom
it's
and
no,
dad.
it's
Yeah.
no, I just express to them, like, it's just not, no, I mean, it's no.
not worth it.
You can make money 100 other ways.
Yeah,
It just doesn't
plenty.
fucking
There's
matter.
so much, like, not in, that's so not them, though, you know?
Yeah.
That's so not their area, lifestyle, their, you know, surroundings. Is,
Right.
and they know, and they see what happened to me.
Right.
So they don't want none of that. And I mean, I do so much better with raising them and listening to them now versus, you know, like when I was a younger mom, you know.
Yeah. When you're just talking shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Being mean.
Being mean.
Yeah. So then, so Daneana, to wrap you up, your best and worst day in prison.
Okay, so my best day was always the visit, like, cause I'm way down in Texas. My kids is way up in Minnesota, and then I'm down in Illinois, and my kids up in Minnesota. So
your kids would have to travel.
get on a plane to come see mom.
So doing
twice a
feds
year.
is fucking way worse. It's way worse than state.
Yeah, it was way worse. It was really bad because I went 18 whole months without hugging, kissing, feeling another person. You know what I'm saying? And then the first visit was my children, right? So I went a whole 18 months without seeing them, and that was a long road. You know what I mean? When I first saw them, my 7-year-old, she was 8 then. She had turned 8. She might have been 9. But when I went in, she was 7. So when she came to see me down there, she was like, Mommy, you know, hug me, hold me, you know. And sat on my lap. And then my middle daughter, she was like just looking at me. She didn't know me, you know. And so I didn't cry or anything. It was just like the first day she was like, hi, you know, just like this little, you know, almost 2-year-old just sitting on my lap, like, you know, and just like not knowing what to do. But she's really like looking at my mom, like, you know, like she's confused, right?
Right.
So then I told her she could get down. I said, you want to go back with your grandma? She's like, so, but she didn't know what to do, so she goes sit over there with my mom. And then the next day, she's eager. She's like jumpy and pointing, and when I'm walking towards her, she's running to me, and she gets up and hi, Mommy, and she wants me to play a game. She wants me to show her how to, you know, she had to just learn me.
What do you think
She
happened?
learned that fast.
Like, I mean, what do you think happened in that time?
Or her knowing.
What do you think happened from the first day to the second day?
Oh,
Like I mean,
my
why
mom,
she was...
A lot of counseling. My mom just telling her, you know, you
That's
didn't
your
hug your
mom.
mom, and you know, I'm her mom, and you know, my mom was good at that, like telling her, you know, I'm her mom, and
Was your mom always supportive, you know, of you? Yeah, same thing for you, Shade?
No, my mom didn't know what was going on. Oh, this was. When I go back and look at that, like this broke my mom. You know what I'm saying? I gotta just like.
Well, because what the fuck is she supposed to do,
cry,
right? Like I mean, she's.
This was like no, my mom is straight up and down.
Okay.
Both of you. Both of you had straight up and down moms, like
I mean, they knew of street.
Yeah.
They were aware of that.
Yeah.
All of that, but my mom don't play that.
Yeah.
She
wouldn't go down that road.
She would
That's fucking
never.
slimy to her or whatever. Right. No, I know that feeling.
But she
like that's
was
a different
like, just her like, you gotta go to prison. Like
I
that just
know.
was just so
Our family.
Like I broke
like,
her
what am I
heart,
supposed
like,
to tell people when you
Yeah,
like right?
that-
especially
You
Believe
hit
me,
the
my
nail
mom-
on the head. Oh my God, she's like,
fucking
yes,
done that. Like
yes.
I mean,
My
I
mom
fucking
was
bet like all that
no.
shit. Are you supposed
Why
to tell
did you-
people you did
Yeah.
heroin?
Right.
Like while you're living at
Yes,
home at 28?
yes,
yeah,
yes,
no, I know,
yes,
I know.
yes. Ooh, that was that. She, but
And
you
yet
know
you
what?
don't blame them now, right?
Right.
Because
Hell
it's like
yeah.
you see that, it's like, of course.
Right
Yeah.
now.
Like right now.
Because back then
But at that
you're
time,
like, are you ashamed?
yeah, you think.
Right.
Yeah,
Me?
you're against your.
I was one of the most successful drug dealers in this city.
Right.
Right, for sure.
Oh my goodness! Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My mom was like, no, devastated, but she grew into to me. You know what I'm saying? And she
accepted it.
She accepted
She just started accepting it.
I wrote the book.
Oh yeah, she really.
How'd you feel about that? Can you shout out your book's title right now?
Yes, The Hood Makes Fresh Water.
The Hood Makes Fresh Water?
The Hood Makes Fresh Water and Overlay for the Underplay. Yeah, 2 books.
I love those titles.
Yeah.
And good for you. And also, like, you know, I do want to say, like that your podcast, I'm already emotionally connected to. I'm a huge de-shame. I mean, my personal belief is that shame truly is what makes the world go round. Right. Like, I mean, in the worst way, right? And it's the motivator behind the worst behavior. It's what makes people fucking do. Right. I would have stopped doing heroin 5 years before I did it if shame wasn't such a big thing. But like, shame keeps you, you know, it's like, like I can't tell someone. Right. I can't fucking. So I'm just gonna keep doing this shit, and then I feel bad all the time because you feel the shame, right? Like you feel it all around. You feel judgment. You feel all that shit. Yeah. So then it's like the only thing that makes me feel good is doing fucking heroin because everything else feels like shit. Yeah. So it does, like, shame does perpetuate all that stuff. So I'm very, like, behind your guys's the mission of your podcast, which is called Meet the Shoe. Yes. And I feel very strong, like, you know, I'm very excited that you guys are doing it with us, and I really want to develop it, and I hope that we fucking grow it to where it deserves and all that shit. And if there's people who are watching this, I don't know why I'm swearing so much all of a sudden, but for people who are watching, check out their website, check out their Facebook page, which is Meet the Shoe, and shoe is spelled S-H-U. And then
our Instagram. And
for the white people at home, shoe means, housing unit, but solitary housing unit. Yeah. It's solitary, basically. Yeah. How long were each of you in the shoe for the most, like, for the longest run?
You been to the shoe?
I've been to the shoe. Okay. I was in the shoe actually for 40.
I'm not even shocked at all that she was in the shoe.
I was in the shoe for 44 days.
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. I wrote The Hood Makes Fresh Water in the shoe. I didn't have a really negative experience out of the shoe. I think that I needed the shoe at the time. That's where I came up with Solidified Hustlers Unite. That's what shoe was, right? But it's really, but it comes out of the solitary housing unit. But that's what the Solidified Hustlers Unite, that came in my mind because it's everyone that was in the shoe were in there for having something to do with money.
Right.
Right.
So that's where those terms, you know, so shoe is like 2 different terms, right? I went to the shoe because I got into it with an officer. Actually was an officer that he was catering. He was a white officer, and he was catering to a Spanish girl, right? And she had the same type of. He said I had contraband, right? And I didn't have contraband. I actually bought it off. It was called Special Purpose Order, right? Off of the SBO. I had bought some glue for my jewelry. He said, where did you get this from? Like, he was just really going hard on me. And I was just like, no. And I can't remember the girl's name, but I was like, you just looked in her stuff and you didn't say anything. The same thing is in there. Yeah. You know? And so he's like, which is funny. It's funny. He was like, oh, you are snitching. Because I said, well, you just looked in such.
That is it, right? It's like, wow.
So,
he was playing chess. Right. Exactly. No, he's good.
He blew, he knew, and so I just stared at him.
Oh, I bet that fucking just locked you up inside.
But I got him back. And he wasn't a racist, but I knew that was going to piss him off. People would say that to him because they say he only liked Spanish women, right? He said, well, I can't be a racist then, right? Because I like Spanish women, right? So when I said that to him, his whole face turned red. Go, get out of here. I was like, why, Stan? I was like, because you know I'm telling the truth. And I said, and you're scared.
It's
and
an effective card to play. But you know what I got right here?
I said, but you're scared. I'm going to tell because you've been going in her room. And I told him right in his face because he was yelling at me and was grabbing me. He was telling me he was going to. I said it. And I was real calm. I was like, and you've been going in her room and you've been telling her to meet you behind the shed. And I was saying all that. He was
I
like,
never want to argue with you. I can feel it already.
You're out of here. So what he said, he's smart. You know what he said? He said, he didn't even say nothing that the thing was contraband. He said, I thought it was, right? And Omer got upset, and she continuously called me a racist over and over. But I don't want any days taken from her. I just want her to sit down and cool off. He didn't want me to get any days taken away, but they did.
Because he didn't want to war.
But he didn't want me to tell he was sleeping with the girl.
Right.
You just saw your girlfriend with the stuff, and you didn't shoot that away, but you see me with it, you gonna write me up like, no, I'm going home in 6 months. And I told him, I said, you going for real? And I was just talking to him like we were cool. I was like, for real, you gonna do this? I said, you doing this? You know I'm going home. You just saw me come off of a furlough. That's what I felt he was picking on me, right? I was like, you just saw me come off of a furlough, and you gonna really do this to me? And he was like. And then when we got closer to up there, when they was coming to get me to take me to jail, right? He was like, if you learned how to shut your fucking mouth, if you just learn how to shut your mouth, you won't be going to jail. If I could shut my mouth, I wouldn't be in jail. Right. I said, you called me a snitch because you was messing with that girl, and I kept saying, I said, you know you was behind that shed. You know what you was doing, and then the other officers coming closer. She's too cold. I don't want to be around her. When the other officers was coming closer, they was like, Omer, what'd you say? I said, I ain't say nothing. He just stared at me. He was like watching me because he was like, she could make me lose my job. Yeah, of course. She was terrified. Into that, I was never. That would have been a whole. I was going home. Right. I don't care about what y'all doing, but you shouldn't put me. You know, I'm going home. What are you gonna do? And he kept telling but he couldn't really give too much favoritism because they would have been watching him. Like, why does he keep on saying he don't want her time taken? Because the man told me when he took my days, he said, well. Officer, forget the man's name, because it was 15 years ago or whatever. But he was like, he doesn't want your good time taken, but we have to because of the series. He wrote this wrong. He didn't know. He's not used to giving out shots. Oh my goodness! We're gonna take these 13 days away from you. I was screaming how. Now that probably was the worst day because that day I had to call my kids and tell me I'm not coming home. I'm coming home 2 weeks later. So I look like a liar. Right. So now you just made me remember that was the worst day. Yeah. For me having to make that call from that because I've been shit for years. Right. To you, right? Yeah. I'm almost out and I'm shit again. Right. Wow. You're a liar. I don't believe. Right. You was coming home and now girl, they're saying probably like we're waiting on you for all these years and then you you know you no I get you that don't love us like I get that so many things. I cried like a baby. That I remember that real good now that was meant for you to ask me that because I remember that I did not go to the shoot until 6 months before my release. Wow. That was just stupid of me and I tell myself back then I was so mad but I said there was a reason why I didn't get out on that day versus 2 weeks later. There was something there that I wasn't supposed to be see or do or be, right? I wasn't supposed to. So, but at that time I wasn't understanding none of that. All right, I got one more that I got to ask you guys. Who's the most dangerous person you were ever locked up with? Was there ever anyone in prison who like you know who you were with were like that bitch fucking stay like fuck that lady, I'm not I don't want to be around her, she's scary, she's you know what I mean, like where like clearly the most because you're in a room full of fucking killers or whatever or maybe not killers but like scary. I was never scared of them. See, for women really it's different. It was that when they were you hear about their crime, they're trying to be a different person. Remember that they don't never want you to be what that black and white paper said. Right. Whatever that black and white paper said. If I killed 3 fucking people, I'm gonna be the nicest person here because I'm not. Because they're gonna worry about me killing them or doing something to them. I don't want them. I want them to like me. At the end of the day, they want you to like them, especially if they're in population. They want to be friends with somebody. They want some interaction with somebody. They want somebody to paint this picture of them to tell the outside world that ain't them. There's still a show. It's still a game. That's interesting. They still totally different. I was in there with murderers, right? There was this couple. Couple meaning mom and daughter.
Really?
They were on Lifetime. I actually was in there with 2 women that were on Lifetime channel, and the one had killed her husband, and it was a big
on Lifetime Channel. Do you mean Lifetime Channel, or do you mean No shit.
Yes, they made a whole movie off of them.
No way.
And when they made the movie, you wouldn't see them. They'll be in the bed.
Why?
Because
they don't want you
I would think that'd be the same. Okay, but I would think once you ascend to that level, that it's like a Lifetime. That like, no, I'm the baddest bitch here. No.
Murder.
Okay,
No.
women don't take pride in that way.
No, not murder.
Really?
No.
every time I would, one lady, her show would come on TV, and she went into the government center and shot up.
What was her show?
She went. Did she come up on the news or anything like that?
Yeah,
She went in the government center with a gun and shot her cousin and the lawyer.
Oh,
and tried to shoot at the judge.
Whoa.
So it was like.
And trying to shoot a judge.
Man, she was shooting just everybody up in there. She was mad.
Daneana.
She was mad.
When you shock Daneana, you know it's fucking like, yeah.
Short little lady, you wouldn't think she'd do nothing like that. She
Right.
was just so sweet. She'd be like, Shade, can you cut my hair? I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Who'd you hate most in prison? Was there someone where you're just like, I fucking hate this person?
Yes, it's always more than one.
It's
always
somebody that's
she talked
doing
too
a lot
much
of talking.
All in the jail.
The big talkers
There was
in general.
someone in jail that was sneaky, and you just had to watch them. If they weren't sneaking to steal, they were sneaking to scheme, and you just didn't like how they treat somebody else.
Yeah.
If you seen them always talking to the officer, I was like, what are you talking to the police all the time for?
Yeah.
We're in jail. Like, what are you doing?
Well, that's it. So you talked about the rape thing like right away, right?
Yeah.
And you said it sounded so pitiful. And so I did a podcast with this guy who did prison for 9 years for a one-punch kill. Like, it was at Taste of Minnesota. Ooh. Fucking, I mean, they're in high school. Right. Getting a fucking thing. He fucking, he's a tough dude. He fucking cracked that egg. The dude died. He ran, he went on the lam for 5 days until finally he got nowhere. You just know it's over.
Right.
And his first night in prison, he listened to a dude get fucking raped. And the next morning, he sees the dude carrying his bloody sheets down the fucking hall. It's just to where it's like, you must have been like you woke up in hell, right? And what I wondered about that, because there is, I don't give a fuck if you're in jail and how ugly that is, there's still humanity there, right? And it seems like jail does like police its own to some degree. And so if you hear the old lesbians are fucking turning out young bitches with a fucking Ziploc bag on a broom handle.
Right.
Someone might regulate on them a little bit.
Right. Someone usually does.
Yeah.
It's like
that's what I'm gonna say. Like, I mean, did that shit happen?
You need the person to say. And just remember this: the person has to say, "We fought, they did," or and how it went,
how it went. Yep.
That in that instance, it had to be the young girl to tell. She would not tell.
There is a code there where like it's like, even though we all know, we can't really.
That's why I said, when I say she told the compound, she told the compound, she told the people, the camaraderie. You know what I'm saying? She told the land of where we were living. She told everyone, but she did not tell the police,
right?
Because she knew my family's here. My family got to come see me. I'm not getting shipped from here. I'm not doing nothing to get shipped from here.
That's crazy.
My mama is gonna be madder at me. I already killed
I'm
my
already
husband.
A fucking right.
I already got the family, like we were saying.
Yep.
Got the family looking all messed up already because of what I did.
What I did.
I'm not gonna dig a deeper hole. I'm gonna shut my mouth and just take it. Take the licking. Really, that's what it is.
Do you believe that people are basically good or basically bad?
I think people are basically good.
I feel that they're full of shit. A lot of them in there, right?
Oh, in jail,
Yeah, I feel that they.
What about in general, though? Like, I mean,
in general?
Yeah, just like, I mean, in general.
Good. They're good. You can get a good out of anybody. Even the evilest person, you could get a good out of it. It might come with some type of cost or scheme or something, maybe.
I think it's.
But from overall, you can get a good out of it.
I think it's probably the mental.
Yeah, where they are at that time.
Yeah.
Mental state.
My phone's dead. I don't know
Mine
if
is
you
too,
have it.
so.
Okay, yours is too. Yeah, I was going to say if there's any questions, but we will have these ladies back. If there's questions that we didn't get to, please listen to their podcast, Meet the Shoe Podcast.
YouTube,
Instagram. Just go to Meet the Shoe Podcast.
Radio,
Go to NBC, to our studio podcast, and we'll have links to all their stuff there.
Yes.
And also underneath this video and stuff, we'll have all that stuff. So thank you guys so much for coming. This is so fucking... I fucking told you. I told you that this is going to be fun.
Yes, you did.
Like, I had zero fucking stress for this one.
Right.
And this is better than I thought it was.
I know, right?
Before my phone died, someone said they're glued to this live.
All right.
Yeah.
I know, right?
So, yeah. And like, I got multiple fucking
Good.
like,
Oh,
things from that.
do you know who that was? Guess who that was? That was my oldest
One of them.
daughter.
Was it your oldest daughter?
Misha, yeah.
Do you think she maybe has not heard some of these stories?
She didn't. That's why she was listening.
That's why she was...
That's why
Especially
she
when we
was
talk
listening.
about grade high school and stuff.
Yeah.
So.
All right, you guys talk about your podcast while I go in there to turn off this live.
Yes.
So this is your last pitch.
Meet us on we on
Monday.
Spotify, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google
YouTube.
Play, YouTube, iTunes. We're all that
On all
platforms.
Yes, check us out. Keeping you currently informed with prison politics and